Akwe internet so won't programming than the director of photo solicitors. Na and then you want sembe brain the babe to dry here babia ye per se ye much information emma ye listeners na omutimi share into new policies bia bia no ye buy per se share with them just about 2 or 3 days ago in our home office for publishing new guidance FA nationality registration as someone person will register omumba and normal year British nationals into no and then you ba be pipe mu nya chichi mu nya hu kwan ankofo betimi aden afa so ISR application sisi akrampo no yeah, a lot of people are doing it because of fee waiver and idea aba into no that's one of the things and you better discuss say remember inquiring so you better discuss about divorce applications ne kwan ankofo be cheche omeja padie see them be hye niam na betimi acheche mu kama into and them say a very packed program here
a very packaging a pa lawyer wo say see to e wo kasa wo form misraw wo say see to be ayi for show no misraw any other say obeyi suit blazer no na aka shirt no VG me pato share video ne ko Ghana VG e wo Ghana Lily share video ne ko Ghana Esther share video no obi an share video no country kura wo so no me pato share video no e ko country kura na wo so no e ma me pato Margaret ehefa e na wo ma me se wa na wo mi kana na wo mi mun share video no na wo mi wo Ghana share video no e ko Ghana UJ Kwame UJ share video no e ma wo now for Margaret obi an share video no because ene enkomo no eye pack lawyer Daniel lawyer bia ne menene tenasia minim lawyer bia capacity minim de lawyer bia timi ye lawyer Dan de menene tenasia minim se ono de aha oba be kire nneoma bia mu so okan ye wo so oba be sempensempemu ene eye pack epa ene ye de ba no apple share video no na kwa me ba share video ni kokro romance edisha ha obi an hyenko baabi a owo bia mon hyenko ne nkofo enya notification me pamochew na naadwo obi an hye lawyer ansan ne ebekọ dwumadie ne so no wo any update ni wa me pacho menko na me pacho yentoaso lawyer me pacho me kasa wo kasa bebuo mu enti wo de wo no feel free wo ye limited kra na baabi a wo ye wo limit no feel free na eko eye baby a wo ye wo limit e wo ho me pacho mama me driving license wate mama me driving license na memfa enye adwuma no lawyer hwe wo phone so me de ade a sendel okay
em say wo screen e na freezy pound
sa okay
na wa hwe
akwasi me pacho lawyer say e freezy intino
o side there no me san kan WhatsApp ni o abena
okay kofowe mama me driving license okay lawyer me hono me hu ese hono aye yi ba still me kasa mote me boa me kasa mote
o kasa eti ba wo screen na wo na freezing
me kasa mote dia ene me nkwa bia de me show na me show no license ne ba me ye e was of na me number enfama mo bia ene nana kwa me ba me da se ene ye 22nd of 7th 2022 yes ye 2022 that means to say me wo live live broadcasting ena me ye no enti me pamocho obi biara wo be ka me hu bia no enye we say ena ye na emomu no ye live broadcasting ena ye ewa aha me pacho driving license Miss Pretty Patel ababa bekasa say wababa bekasa say o revoke enkofuo bi enioma e de free wo mo ensem enipa full of people bi a o say o deporte wo mo bia obi a oye drug dealer a ya che no obi nsusu a oye kidnappers ana obi a oye rapers Yachino. Lawyer me pacho, me first question I me did ba was so about driving license ne so because me dear me no enkofo enhu enti no dear me ya me de ebeba wo so answer. Lawyer obi wo ho a me kasa wo kasa bebuo mu. Obi wo ho a me fa ne se lawyer oba kuromi ha ne wo fa ne de na ba abrochire. Ni wafa ede ne baaye no ede na ba UK ha sei no onu de woni mo hwe bia na ne wafa no otonwunro bia na ne wafa no otonwunro na ne wafa no yache ne wafa ne da enkoma media no men kasa sister abana ade na wo ka we wa afidie yi so aha educative program ye ka wa ha because Miss Pretty Patel waka lawyer bia ni wafa na wode ne baaye no ni wafa na akotonton nro ada se ni wafa no arobi obi ena yache no eda ana se ni wafa no eye amroba ni wafa no edi nsemone ba mefa enuro no enye example ni wafa no eton konkonte ena konkonte no yache ni wafa no wo koba ni wo koba yache no ena yeja ne wofa no sabre ena ne wofa na kofa ne wofa asede na be kromi ha me de ye example e de ama baabi a se wonua ne de waba obi a wodu obi nkrata eye adwuma ena meka ho asem ba me use obi ne wofa aye example entime for ne say wo de Eugene nkrata aye adwuma by law eye wrong se wodi obi nkrata be ye adwuma mama me fa nso because me am something time so enti lawyer me fa ne say ni wofa ne de ne baaye na odu obi nkrata ye adwuma no onu de wonim se nipa no ekrom ha owo criminal record onim se ni wofa no wo enuro na wakoton ame ya che no ewo ne record so enti onu de ode ni nipa kronin nkrata na ye adwuma owo adwumam anase o ebia wote baasim random check ena yaba abechi no ana wo adwumam mpo ena bibia si adwumam ana kotifo baaye no no mbusa na sa wo de sen ena oseme de Kwame Eugene enti o mo check Kwame Eugene wo date of birth ye de obo ni date of birth o mo check ye no na chese ni wo fa na nipa na wo de ne nkrata ye adwuma no enipa no eye drug dealer why powerful edroton eni enti no ebasa no omuchi nipa kro no omo se na se wokura wudi Kwame Eugene no wokura no why wanted ye hwehwe okay omo de drew eye police station ho no ye born nsa no na chese enye wono a lawyer wati ase na chese Kwame Eugene no enkrata na ne wafa ase ana obi de ye adwuma enti ye chi nipa no wa adwuma mu no ye chi no obo ni din bo ni date of birth because ye chi wa enye ho na na ye fingerprint wudin wo date of birth omo check ye no na Kwame ekura British passport enti British passport no okura no ena omo so wokura no woton nuro a ye hwehwe enti besene me yankwai ye de ni drew police station ho no ye born nsa no na kire se eye wrong person ena omo de na ba no edi Kwame Eugene wunya ne wen eye wodia because wo fingerprint ni ye different ehwo na nipa ne ka no kure se eye me wofa edia me wofa nkrata ena me de eye adwuma enti de to aso de ye akwantuom nsem ye de obeba ho akwantuom nsem next week am wa be ye no wo ho na me pese me wa ha no wo ba mu bi se nipa kro na ye che no ebe affect nyi ono ne ton enuro no wo mahu se enye ono a ye ne fingerprint no o mahu ono amu nso aka no kre e de a kire wo mo se enye media eye Kwame Eugene dia eye madam fo dia eye me wo fa dia eye nipa so mesi dia still no ye nya no owo detention se wo ba e wo kromi ha ana se ne circumstance asesa ade no ebetimi affect ne nkrata na so person ye nkrata ebe affect ne nkrata na ena enyo ono ne ton drugs o ton nro no eno so so na ebe affect na yenko any program so.
Yo, Abname da si bebre any question na we bisa no, and to be honest with you no, idea eta esi bebre. Eta si in the sense say ebia na nipa na we use in krata no, enye drone na auton, but ebia no no so akwa bibia ye hwehwe ne dada. Internet can fall in any circumstances, but me hu ye kra me hu be 3 or 4 times okay in for life one we had to deal with. Normally no say ye chill say who you su obi enkrata edi aye juma. Say dia woka beginning of a presentation no. Saa de nankasa no criminal offense I wetimi de wako efiase and I wetimi a sentence so na wenya criminal sentence because wako yusu obi enkrata. De bia meka say nkrofo a ye university omo e prison e krom ha say a omo ye Ghana for no. We be 80% efi honoma omu nia mo wo honia no omu wo honom because omu yusu obi nkrata eni achi omu aye wakoto efiase. But what you need to understand is see a chill near the to efiasia. That is the time you need to do something about it. Say they are affected with immigration case. You know, Profonians have problem now. I tell them say criminal barrister and as a criminal lawyer or wow now we do as no very very important. So ubenya very good criminal lawyer now we do as wow it do as because based on the sentence I the bemau say we use to obi enkrata no and no nebe show say ebe affected one kasa application I will be in future and I say affected. For instance, if wako yusu obi enyama near the court near sentence so anything below 12 months and the crest say application in future so we catch almost your sentence so be 9 months your sentence so be 6 months but o catch efficacy for say your sentence so 9 months and as 6 months because you su obi nkrata and no ni enchre say ye mfa won krata ne emma ye de won krata ne be pepepe and your problem. The only issue ne say uko yusu obi nkrata te say nua akọ yusu ne wo fa se nkrata de adwuma na ye che no na wankonya lawyer papa na ye de ne ko we court near sentence no more than 12 months then it means even if nemba British krum has a crown pona they will try say be deporting if krum has
wow
in those circumstances and yes be affecting because sentence are unya no more than 12 months into no ebi I have seen cases by the time I be human not already in your sentence your area and ya catch almost say after almost sentence you be deport you if you krum ha even in those circumstances and I tell them say a very very important say almost be appeal against prison sentence not the conviction it be very difficult say obey appeal against say we are guilty because ebia ye chill evidence a chest na we use obi nkrata no very clear with ye hwehwea enye but a ban of the length of sentence idea amount that's more than 12 months it may be possible say obey appeal against this length of sentence most of the time the young people struggle with criminal appeals because no most criminal lawyers in a legal aid into a buying aid either.
Na lawyer legal aid in a dasu or na wo matwem. Omo dasu
provide. Provided legal aid Emma criminal cases. Immigration cases in a limited legal aid into asylum claims pay. Any domestic violence cases, but say a ban of criminal cases there, most people know etimi enya legal aid because when you say criminal matter there, yeah, canas yankani yeah, very serious. Internet for that, most cases nobody qualify for legal aid. The only problem they say a ban say almost say appeal mawa. They need to weigh whether say what chances of success high say are buying able to asasi kind amount and I say are buying into asasi kind amount into when that problems occurs we tell people say so we say legal aid lawyers in the crown are not willing say appeal against that sentence now but modern private person are obetimi aboa because ebetimi enya implications also especially fighting deportation cases. Deportation cases, are very, very difficult to fight them. Even what Mba Mienu, Mba 10, Nkwala 10, a British krum has a kra na say see a deportiwa. It can be very difficult, especially if the reason for deportation is a work of committed crime. Into see ye choose who you so being crata me pacho ben jojo ben tenase and drain say oh and the member immigration detention near jam. See ye nya case the whole court criminal courts near co sentence where you need to start taking it seriously because implications can be very, 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 very hard on you.
Me das me pacho wa be come ho bia share video no ate because the year can no very very important bia ye beba enne asem ne so ba asem a aba enna me de ye me ensem oba manim any lawyers eno na ya me ba na me de bia be ya asem na watie bi lawyer me das bebre nya me onhira lawyer me pacho na that means say me sro tie me we because asem we na me be ka no almost Sagana for enye yenkwa na ye obia ye bi India for akwasi asan babiem India for obia eye bi na momu no yenye ka Ghana ka senti e na meka yenye de e wa ha Sagana for aye wo akwantuom abrochire babia wo moye but me kasa wo UK Ghana for aye wo krom aye 1000 lawyer na me fa ne say emu 500 eni nkrata 500 ne obi 500 ni nkrata 200 ene de nkofo enioma eye enipa 300 no en omo ankasa ama omo ho insurance number en omo ade ye adwuma banchiaba lawyer what banchiaba say
oh yes of course yes
wonu ankasa ena aye ne onu ane nkrata enye obi dia lawyer say wodu obi nkrata ye adwuma yenim say ye chew yenim say no Miss Pretty Patel dia beye mra say wodu obi nkrata ye adwuma ye chew ye do betum se me de me nkodu obi nkrata ena me ankasa makoye banchi aba me mi di na wo so me date of birth ye adwuma nyo obi dia eye me ame dia enti se no ne de enye offense ye chimia enye problem.
And no see a problem, Abena. Remember, say, no can be classified as fraud. So what you say?
Now fraud, fraud ni sikangwa.
There be sikangwa. Fraud ni say one kasa wa present.
Lawyer Mpacho ma kasa na koso.
Mpacho otimen kasa siya.
Yeah.
Yes, fraud ni say one kasa we use other documents be. Now we'll present say a year with documents. Meanwhile, na enye with documents. Intino say yeah, unim say yeah, so open national insurance number. So we year application, Eco Department for Works and Pension. Yeah, my appointments. Yeah, this are national insurance number the amount. That is the genuine way. As a weird thing. With national insurance number. So we will decide they say enye sa kwan so. Na wobefa edenya wo national insurance number na sebi wakojina baby ama obi nkwanche obi atwadi ama those times na ye your card so no okwa na oma ye e the amount na say so a letter so dey very easy for people to just print it from the letter no abro eno no so fraud inti no ye betimi edewo akọ court ni akọ sentence for committing a fraud. The only good thing is most times very rare say who say obi akọ presenti banchi aba ema ye de na akọ prison. Most of the time na ye chi omo ye hu say wonni enkrata nko de na hand over e de wama immigration force or omo take it over. But possible say betimi aiden e de wakọ ifiase because a fraud, and it's very very important say people understand say oh yes sir banchi ne sa ni manyama na enye ade a ye chiwa especially in the current climate a woman, you know, aban no any abriye say obia obey sa nyamanyama ni bia na be penalize you na asemba ko na obi sa say sa nipa ya ye chi na o use ne warfare de na ebetimi affecting in any way no possible say in future a do timer or qualify for the nationality or qualify for the indefinite ebetimi are affected because of wrong association. Says a year application for indefinite leave to remain now ye bisa say are you a person of good character, whether yes or no. So good character requirements even if they feel say only amount for almost subai enye ebo adamfo fa we are down for crown pona and no so timi affect application away no in that sense no at the time of naturalization at the time of indefinite leave to remain no and the able to me affect you but a ban is say wo kwakoji with 2.5 years renewal where thoughts they dia ubetimi ayede akoje so long as I obey declaration we must say this is what you have done your sentence so that then ubetimi aje but nkrofo mistake ya nkrofo na say wo ka chro mo say or criminal offense and also criminal history affect your application or dream say or year application for renewal now it means say enye say ochro was so say their sentence in that is where they start having problems because say one throw mu say ye chill the court in the amount 3 months and as the amount 6 months suspended sentence one throw honoma you bet me a refuse you not because over criminal offense but because one can crime because of that into only good character because one can crime into a criminal offense into the farmer because one can crime into the farmer.
Oh, okay. Now, because of one kind of you refuse now kind of crave you with the quadia de bema.
Say you refuse now say we appeal then they will look at Article 8 Aqualano best interest of Aqualano into a hot and a judge in the we no masem actually say I didn't na one kind of create at the time I will year application obi o no obeka say oh me lawyer na year application in mama no send a copy brem me say me but nyamini one hwe ye no sign no the buy into the utrichiri mu na say judge no etiwasia obetimi ayede a accept appeal no on the basis say see you fi chrome has ya ebe affect woba so what you say but say woko court na wentimi en you anu a year judge them I say bia deliberate o share that say on person obeka kire and so person dey see efficacy mo for say bia BBC esi life mo that and for that reason internet you be refuse me dey asema me can say so kwa ko hu lawyer na wa application amawa asemu bia e wo to kromo be bia no but modern akache lawyer no because lawyer ne betimi wo be doing say enye hwe wo be doing say bia enko fasen bia emba but eno ne betimi ayede akoyi insem bi apie into I tell people so o de say affect to but they catch no on one obe hu de o de be e na ansa na lawyer de application betum ama no so but modern na hwem na read obi wo ho no ma o ye an application the man now they send the man and say minya ba my application and we hwemu na confirm and say bibia e wo mu ye correct within 2 minutes no I respond oh bibia okay fako natural say on share application ni mu eye nti na assembly sa krampo wo ho no mo krampo bia lawyer na jin say we 10 applications 9 of them omu ni criminal record but bia wo na we one na wo criminal record na wan ko kan share lawyer na because of that since he refused to on baby na or can or beka say ade na mekoye ye nti ye refuse me on ka say ne krena man kano enunti na ye refuse the application
na che say wo ka no kura na atimi eyi wo free amane bi mo wo ka no kura mo timi gina no kura ne so kura grantel. Okay, yes. Me patcho share video ne fro bi na ka me be ka driving license ho asem so nipa mo hwe me no monye enough e wo eye driving license no e ho asem mo amukura eye driving license e wo kromi ha mo driving license no man kwotena classroom bi a nkotworo man kwotena ba bi a nkotworo mo ankasa no ewie mu shen driving license no mo ye acrobatic e na ebesi ho e na mafa na mo de ye adwuma enipa mo hwe me no enye enough enti yenko eye enkomo ene yebedie no eso me pacho wo ka me ho a frɛ wo nua bi ne share video ne ka kire wo nua bi say abonus campaign atana ase ene me ne lawyer eye Daniel ena atana ase one of the senior solicitors ewo eye Fortwell solicitors ena ye ne no atana ase ene ye bema mo kwan na mabusa any question bi a wo pese wo busa ene edeya ene ye bedi enkomo eye Miss Pretty Patel and check kra ena ode ba ye say eye registration o pese wa wo kromi ha na se wo ba no obeye British born eye registration yen nyina ye nim say by law ekrom ha sei se wo na se wo maame ana wo papa no eni nkrata ana wo mo won nkrata na emom no omo nkrata ekura wo mo no enye indefinite leave to remain wo akra no onye British eno na home office guidelines a wo mo de aba se wo pese wo register wo ba no to become a British ana wo panyimu no you want to naturalize to become a Britisher omo guidelines a wo mo de aba no se nkofo bebre guidelines omo de aba no wo mo sign enu achi a wo mo sign de foforo aba abra wo mo de omo guidelines ba ye no for a couple of weeks ago omo ka say yetimi eye fee waiver ewom ene ye ba bedi nkomo se ye di nkomo ni wie na emre ebamu a ye bedi nkomo afa mo amaye aware nkrata a mukura enfie enum enu ntina na meka say share video no ko brono a wote so se emre bamu a ye bedi nkomo afa mo amaye aware a mokunu na de mo baaye mo yire na de mo baaye mo yire na age matena mu mokunu na age matena mu a ya mamo eye 5 years ewo ekuromu ahasei a mu nipa no omodo omo ho aka nsuo adwuma no mokunu mo yire so omo nye bi ekwan ebe mo ye bedi enkomo eye Fort Worth director lawyer PK mu nyina omo director enie eye lawyer Daniel lawyer me pacho yenko ene enkomo ne so yen starting free naturalization and registration guidelines are aba
yo medasi bebre abna say dem kan ye no na say no fee waiver application enkrofo astati because ade free there o de onim say enkrofo pe into ye the naturalization ebe kan ho say e onim say o person wo ye application ema uba na enye say utua £1,012 then there's no reason why our Becca won't get our application. You have every reason to go ahead. And yes, Obana abroad. Na so we yes our application man because remember say akolani enya di 18 years ontimi and register biom say on naturalizing na naturalization also no so fee waiver no eno enkano apart from the fact say or be naturalizing and so no say or your English language test say or your life in UK test into no there's so many advantages say as a parent no or akwala only British nationality ube go ahead now why nationality na man especially now sikasemo so crampo ye traso aya kacho say wetimi aye fee waiver but so we ready say open say we application for naturalization now you need to understand say there are rules any guidance any inyemeneme bi wo honoma say what ye den umiti nyame enche adom on the I think say 18th of July about 4 days ago and our home office for the new guidance abetudra the new guidance abetudra efficacy mo for omo ye omo consider for application home office for emo akwankyere ekwan a omo be consider any application bia obi beye documents that they are expected say omo de be ka ho nti ne say okoya application no wan fasa documents na nka ho a de so omo refuse de so omo bi say kofa foforo ebra ni nia no who guidance no more they are publishing new one and they are to honoma and then present change when starting with one of the new changes are aba so we share section 3 subsection 1 of British Nationality Act in bebre so wo ye application are register wo ba ye be bisa say under which section in a wo ye application ama wo ba say oh yeah application ama there are so many reasons I obetimi ejina so the aye registration e the ama oba ebi mo aye registration ama oba because e bia na ono ankasa no oye British but wakowo ne ba no ewo ama no ne in asisia no the child is entitled to it obi o hono ma na oye EU national oba acronym no enche na wabenya ne settled status settled status no so no before that no so no wa wo ne ba e wo krom ha say nti no opese onya bukoko ni bi ema sa akwala no such a person no say o register sa akwala no obi wo hono mo nso a na wetina ya wo no wo krom ha say ni papa ni bi ni mama ni bi ba ono akwala na nkasa no wetina ha say so many years nti no sisi no wetina ha 10 years opese or register na ono nkasa enya ne nkrata eno nso possible obi wo hono ma ne papa British ina yakowo na ewo Ghana no nso akowo ne ba ewo Ghana nti no oye descendant of a British sisia no opese oje enkrata ema ne ba no under those circumstances no except or register nti there are so many scenarios nkrofo may have to register omoba na omoba no enya registration certificate na ometimi ejina so e de akoje omobu kokko no but you need to understand say the bank application in a year application no, as because you are entitled to it, and as a year application based on discretion. Very, very important because if you get it wronger, a bit me affect akwala future generations kwanya sa akwala na sefo ebenya omonkrata intino ben fan to form and drain say form no form back na fill for both applications intino dia me fill bia no home office for no ebehu correct one na omodi amame very important say who as the applicant no who name the correct procedure will follow into say application amakwala waiting has say 10 years and only year discretion efficacy move for are supposed to give registration certificate and no who document any entitlement anywhere or the back on different from obia or yet entitled to it. Now, OSHA guidance now Home Office for a publisher. Now, one of the things Omoka say most people are Omobe application piano. There's a possibility say biana nipa ne crown or a British data. If Nipani a British data, they are supposed to reject the application, which is good. They are not supposed to refuse it. They are supposed to reject it. If they reject it, now say bia nyame anya wadom na wan qualify for fee waiver nibi na utu ya £1,012. And what that means is you very refund the amount. Reject the application as invalid. Near the bro say, akwala na wo your application ama no crown no or a British data, you do see can ebe ma back. But you refuse the application and now see can ebe shit. So you need to understand the basis ubetimi aye sa adiewe. Na ye kase obi application because or you entitled. The type of evidence what they can different. Into within each section be a will be choose your application be and no any documentation as what they call. For instance, if we hear application say we are entitled and at the time now we hear application I say whoa no let's use an example by the time I papa ne o mame whoa no now one of your parents was a British intine enunti ina wujina so edi aye registration na esa wutimi this evidence na den echo. There are situations whereby we application and as a year application me ebitina has say 5 years and as papa bitina have 5 years and sana onya ne settled status. If that is the case, so what the evidence say papa na and answer mama indeed wait na has say 5 years and because of that in the man settled status enam enusunti in a years application into no mama and answer papa no the documents in the air corner. So the evidence said council tax records ni P60s for the past 5 years. Sanya many nyan nyama ebetimi a demonstrate say no krenye no sa papa na sa mama no with krom has say 5 years with you. One kasa so passport bia ewo honoma they will need to see the passport. They are not seeing the passport because omubejina passport na so na omode amawon krata, but they are seeing the passport to see say bia during the 5-year period preceding the time of your application ufi krom has say and as when fi krom has say into no say need passport ni bia and one is over catch on so we need passport or be only passport and also on J passport that means so on two kinda. So ultimately, say, that is the point of it. Obi or no better say, oh lawyer, may your application almost see your passport, but me need passport. We cannot always spend this sika. I could Ghana High Commission, I could J passport, but ube shimono now the passport is not even necessary. The reason why they need the passport, and you telling them say we need passports in the panel answers the question, and then you are done. You don't need to move forward with anything else. Some of these things, you will realize it saves you money. So we hear application under section 4F. Because at the time no a bia na waware your time you wo no na o mame aware o papa. Obviously marriage certificates, any divorce certificates bia e wo ho bia no, you will need to present it with the application. Intino obi wo ho no ma obefrɛ o lawyer me pese me call register me ba mpacho o ma me list of documents, and as I won't can share me list of documents I mean here e wo phone so na me hu dia me ye me ho me ba na ma boa me preko. And I tell people say you need particular list of with documents I demand obi or naturalization, because I mean even the section I may use at the year ama until say me no abon komo eti we no, then I can determine say unia bema unia ba ubano, this is the section I made now so at the year application amano. Another thing also this is a 1 year application for registration, because nipa no so based on discretion, say home office for based on discretion the amount, because Aqualanit has a 10 years. One, you form our filling it may be different. Normally, your form T or MN1, your different forms idea registration. Until you need to know the type of form I will use. Say, the argument in this say Aqualani 8 now has say 10 years. You need to be able to show say Aqualana ampa with now 10 years. So we share guidance in Aquala with the 5 years. Chrome has say for the first 5 years, the documents I will direction are different from 5 to 10. Into from 1 to 5 years, the type of documents I mentioned with vaccination records, with GP records, or red book. Those are the type of documents. But from 6 to 7, I copy 10. You hear the attendance record from school. A be a will call the parents' evening yeah there. Into the school be a wako be and we would expect so be call on no letters a few honum now the account application. So if you don't get it right, possible say be refuse the application, and I say be reject the application. Now time I was spending in my way in acquire. So it's very, very, very important. Say we understand say any process bia you be follow and you be decided say be take it bia no, the document I be use to and as I say provide them a home office for may be different. So we share guidance no so home office for have been told say you can say for documents a bra na ebe share wo identity a bibi to say or birth certificate any proof of ID. So they need to be very, very, very careful in ways and means that they identify individual no, because they need to make sure say they are avoiding fraud. Yeah, person obeji try so obeji book ediama obia ye ni obia say what the birth certificate keke na airqua, they should find other ways and means how tinya are verify nipa chrono. Say what share registration certificate application form no so you will be a better choice koje referees ebra. So referees near very, very important, because that is a way and means omodi ideas or someone him akola ibi akola na ye can also only passport into the only passport and the only proof of idea or one a year in the birth certificate and a picture in so into the better choice for form ne comma a be a professional obi a onim akwala na onim wo for 2 years. This is the purpose of SAR referencing, because they don't want you to be involved in any fraud, because if anything goes wrong wankasa wo ma reference the crown put bit me nyase.
Really?
Yes, it's here for they need to be careful. They need to be careful in the sense it said if you honoma na oti honoma na obi aba say oh abnaski impay me kwakoje passport amameba mpacho on sign forms we mameba no akwala no kra mpo no wo no unhu ne da. You haven't seen the child before. Who knew they were Aqualan AC etie? The reason why they bring those things to you and they said they want to make sure say Aqualana was signing documents a man no. And I wouldn't maame say enye it will be for in or any air share because they don't have any ID for the person. In situations where the child may have a Ghana passport or any other passport, it may be helpful. Internet for and some of signing document ama obiano, you need to be very, very careful because so Osha has say fraudulent issues are a cause they want to make sure say they avoid those things and they have made it clear over there. They've told them say even if almost consider application na omu documents na airban na say evidence na airban no mu say if there are safeguarding issues be wo hono krampa they may have to refer the case to social workers into this open so yeah application you need to take care of all those things because so yeah if you hold my person who pictures of Aqualani from the time you who Aqualani till date say only e wo chrome has say o kasa Aqualani the 10 years ka has here very 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 important and now see a case of year application now you need to know say year application on the basis of entitlement and then on the basis of discretion you have to know at the time of application very important another thing also they say so year application on the basis of entitlement you may not even need say both parents ever consented to the application so they don't need to sign into the obi wɔ hɔnom a ɔpɛ sɛ ɔyɛ passport anaasɛ ɔpɛ sɛ ɔyɛ registration ɛma ne ba but bɛrima no a akwadaa ne papa no ɛmpɛ sɛ ɔbɛsupport application no anaasɛ ɔmpɛ sɛ ɔde ne biribia ɛbɛma wo na wayɛ application no if that is the case then it becomes relevant whether say under descent or under entitlement. If no under descent na ejina papa no so nti in yeji registration ne ama akwala na it can be very very difficult say ube go ahead so ube registration because ejina papa no so ne de ma akwala no meanwhile the papa no say on sign documents and I say bia yen use papa phone kra e bi kra na ejina ma no so nti na yeji enkrata ma akwala meanwhile no ma is not willing say obey supporting application into deciding which route you are using and as a which entitlement you need very very important to determine it at the onset of the application process and now we so as a will fill it form na you be catch us which section in a year application under under section 1.3 and answer section 1.4 and answer section 1.5 because each section be will be decided say obey no one and say evidence now what they call some of the evidence may depend on no papa registration certificates and also papa naturalization certificates near there. These are some of the things that we need to understand. So we share guidance and so they have introduced a month for said they are struggling to have their own children. Almost go through BBFN surrogacy. Into the A B now you are struggling say obe wo but wakoma obi awo ba ama ebia wako sikrom ha say sa process na ne boede into wako Ghana na wakoma obi awo ama they have introduced guidance for those people ekwan ebetimi register sa enkwala no so na omaje omo British book basically no akwala no their parents na omo parental responsibility no almost so in omo bejina without going into much details if you find yourself into that position if you are thinking so we follow our process now advice I will be on say modern na basic legal advice and so way to kwanya ko baby say obi wo ba na fa akwala na de ebra so that process will be here and anyema say we here answer na wakọ why ukwa ankoye problem amount but the guidance is there to get the British book and that's the registration for sa akwala no and a good character requirement the good thing is say enkwala omoye below the ages of 10 years you need good character requirements for them, which is good. But any person who is more than 10 years, if we are kwala with 11, 12, now the person has had issues with the law, ni issue we are now say when you asbo akwe bibi or social services in your issues there. This is something that may affect any application you are thinking of doing for such a person. It is also important, says a whole year application now, check absences from the UK. Yeah, me knew say I can't program so previously. If for any 12-month period during when Aqualana has been here for more than 180 days continuously, a bit me affected Aqualano. Into the Aquala we did 10 from 0 to 10. If we Aqualana if jurisdiction anymore. Ako outside the UK. I'm a kolani it's not outside the UK for more than 180 days at a go at me pacho. And sana what the application ebe 2 mono. You need to discuss that with your lawyer so that we can address that issue. Moreover, if the total number of days for the 10-year period, more than 190 days, I forget it. Something that they will not be able to waive it, and they will not be willing to allow you to get the registration done unless it's a reason almost a call out a very exceptional circumstance. Almost to quite no because and they couldn't come in. This is the reason why I will tell people say the bia sin be a wo bia no obedrin say bia enye, but telling the lawyer will allow the lawyer to be able to advise you accordingly, because almost the emran they always give a leeway. They always say okay, unless it is reasonable to do so, unless there was an exceptional circumstance. If there are exceptional circumstances be honoma be crap and why dreamba so if they are according to call Ghana, how did they call Ghana say will be encouraging Emma na send because see and wait me uncofa akolana amba in good time. Having discussed it with us, we can put together the reasons and excuses with the application at the same time. And ya amfan sana what the application ebe call na you be refuse you need the documents ebe back and sana wasa abeka so be appeal and also be before for there be and also naturalization cases no be reconsideration. Internet, it is very, very important you understand these processes from the beginning. Now, future generation of akwala affect you more, and now application akasanso awoye no ankasa no one kasanso no affect you. It is important say registration ya ka ho asem. Omo British Army mo omo enkwala ewo krom ha say no, they may be able to also register their children into either say British Army no na wakowo ba ewo fie. At the time I war army anymore, be grandpa wunya British, India wouldn't indefinite, but you are in the army. So war in the army, you will be a friend exempt status. So who exempt status maybe na okowo ewo amanonia ubetimi a register obano. This as my making, I know a lot of people they don't know, and because of that no kofani ureno and no kofani ureno and baba obetia visa fee 1,500 I'm an a year, which 1,500 I'm an a banner. Meanwhile, no, and Kobitimi a year registration, I'm an a banner bemo without paying all these costs. So it's very, very important. Sometimes, so the AB grandpa na at the time na ubano needs exempt status na ye ka ho but your mal contract say oba start and then wako or first training or selection training even in those bases in the crown pono ye betimi at the registration ama ubano. So more British Army so there's a provision for them that they need to look at it whenever the time comes on the register or bano. At this stage in the meaning so be question there, if not then we'll go to the divorces now sana ye be phone lines now my listeners.
Lawyer Kowenim we are all the questions and yes I
moving on to the second topic me person me discuss. I don't know, maybe you just about 5 minutes to discuss that. Divorces are a cost to Krum has said. Say UTM for the first time and I say would nima apart from immigration law no yeah for to also say the science family law civil litigation wills and probate mental health the internal sometimes it's very, very important for us to talk about these little things that are up from time to time. For the past a year or two we have realized we are seeing a lot of divorces
Ghana for 1 minute. Mepa mocho wa ka me ho bia no me san e ma wakwa ba biom e ba abona skimpe na Attract TV so mepa cho share video ne frɛ wo bi ba bia ya dru so no ehia e de ma obi biara sa nkoma ye bedi no e ya na da bia me ne lawyer si kasa me ka kire mo say aden na munko ekuokuo organizations and sorry na sansem we se munko educate wo mo lawyer eya na ekuokuo no ne nsori no na ewo so mu invite mo na say eya mo na ewo so mo kɔ hɔ
eba ne nkuokuo ne dia eya omu invite
so be matoka
omu invite
omu na also mu invite mo
Yes, someone we invite you. And me we've had a lot of people on Mota inviting on regular occasions. We share Church of Pentecost, we share a few other churches, any organizations we bring Honoma from time to time. Church of Pentecost, you know, we most of their districts, we invite them and you programs, we idea, you know, echo Kasa. They're all kind of very, very important.
Sometimes ye we baby a ye drew no very 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 important e de ma ye nyina obia waware a wuti kuromi ha waware a wuti ekuromi ha da bia e ma no ye na ye ana ye wo fie abrochirefo ma de ye housemaid no na mema no aye ye master ne wo mo je say abrochire ni ba bia nim nyansa wo de na adwene to fom obi anim ne right e wo kuromi ha e basa ye japade dia e mema no ene no omo right e mema ene di kan because oba wo utifie wo hwe nkura wo de nkura be ko school ubeye we enti yenkoye japade wo Ghana obi wo ho a Ghana kura wonsi ho da enso won krata o da bia be ma na ekọ no akoye kakra no aba enti be ma busua enimu se ye ba no ne wosika ye ba na japade enso so no oba bi ni kunu netie oba no ene generate sika wo fie cash machine esu oba ne nsem enso so no sanse oba no na ehwe fie nti no be ma no na ekọ ebi wo ho nso so a ekurom ha ya ene o mato fie omo mortgage o mato omo car o ma yo mu bibia ewo ekurom ha sei eye both sizes entokwa ebe fie oba se gegeregen aha ekurom ha de wo tumi oba se buei edan no yato eye mortgage enso so no wo pie fie ha and it's true police for be mu a ye beka kire be ma ne so no mpie na wo tena se na hwe ma hwe nkura no eduru kuromi ha de a ema ne sisi mema ekọ Ghana se ejapade e de a emema no da bi o mu sisi ema no enti no da bi a divorce sa ekoso ewo kuromi ha no eya na divorce ne koso a na e de bitter aba obi kura timi dwudwa ne yere obi kura timi dwudwa ne kunu ewo just simple divorce ejapade wo yentem yenche yenkament ase yenya adwuma enti mepamocho baby a yedru so no share video ni frɛ wo nua bi share kwoto wukuo platform so share kwoto wa asore platform so organization bi a wo mu bia no share this part no opa yi this small part no nefa ekokoto ho efa emame lawyer mepacho yenko
yo me da si bebre abna say dia wo kan ye no this topic need fa ho say one krata na wuni enkrata obi a waware bia no it's applicable to you na they realize say divorce is bebre ekoso a na financial aspect no adensem bebre na eba. Now, the reason why we realize say about discuss sad way say who say grofu bebre mistakes. Either say mbano say mbema no me nka say mbana nko because we can say mbana nko me ka say oh me can come afa and I mean can come we mo afa. But there's a little bit misconception bi wo hono mo say ye worry na ye die japade nia ekofia ni anye bi wa ha say na aware jai eba me safe me secure me japade na ewofie no because oba na ensa enka anase bema na ensa enka. That is the first misconception make us say very wrong. And fa ho baby a ejapade mo be japade akoshe si ye ka say our rejai ebe mu na some financial issue bi na mpo say mo settle is very 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 important say we be making that decision from the very beginning. First and foremost, Chrome has said say esno divorce in esno financial remedies issues. And yet the same thing. The fact say we jai opino interest say court ne ebe check mu japade mu mienu near the word the amano near the onso e the amano. It doesn't work like that in UK. Say who started say open say we divorce you start the divorce which is one process. And then also open say we check a japade ni mu so and also you start that one which is a different process. Into the same thing. Into no see one misconception yeah nkrofo ewo ho. Into no nkrofo bebre ewo krom ha say they have been married previously. Ama aware ni egu, but aware ni egu ye no crown no financial remedy no onyanye. It's not too late say obey na currently. Into say we jai nipa no 5 years ago. Na amfansa na wo tie programming for the first time. Now fast na person okoche ejapade ni na ekwan da so wo honum say obeba forward nya yes financial remedies no e the amount. That is another thing I'm a person me correct it because I na for they say we died 2 years ago, he died 3 years ago, mean to be nyehwe. The other thing also they say ebi wo honum nso a because ebi are one of the parties to the marriage ne edwin say ye jai e wo krom ase ya ebe affected ebe check ni nyame mu bo no quickly no kofie no akogya aware no we are not the people na yɛden abrɛw minya bema utie me na that is the difficulty that you are having because we need to say japade ni nya e wo fie na that is what has happened and also no it will be very important so when lawyer bekasa because ya ka e wo fidie so previously say Ghana our regime no valid if you were not living in Ghana 12 months preceding the time of our regime. Inti no se wakoye awaregya na se ukunu ana se woye afa wechi akogyae aware no ewofie without even your knowledge. It may be possible say sa awaregya na also akoye no krampo no enye valid document in a ukra. Inti if that also occurs to you and I said that may touch your situation and also no it may be important say one lawyer beden ebe discuss as same when you ahwe kwan a yebetimi aboa. Thirdly, ɛmfa ho beebi a mogyapadeɛ ɛwɔ. Mogyapadeɛ no betumi awɔ Kuwait, anaasɛ mogyapadeɛ no betumi awɔ Nigeria, anaa mogyapadeɛ no betumi awɔ Accra. Beebi a gyapadeɛ no wɔ biara no, so long as at the time a ɛnɛ ne mo kasa yi, mo awareɛ no motena UK ha sei no, you can go through legal proceedings ɛwɔ UK ha sei to divide those assets. And also yeah, another misconception I'm a person me correcting no and ne anope. Inti no se mo okrom ha say na mo te cancel property mo social housing na mo team enye mo ankasa na mo ato ana mo renting but mo amato mo fie ana mo ato asase bi ewo efia. It is possible say everything are working on to divide those assets. Even enye say bi amato but ebia wokɔ ware wo yire na nakɔ ware ukunu no na o partner no ne papa de ejapade bi egya no ewo fie crampo na it may be possible say you might say divide it so because in your can assets and especially more enkwala so it's coming meaning say a cancer program we are one sham be man be friend na be bo me say me mamo upon the do but in sema e wo hono it goes both ways e ya jin say be man pe na inyema na wo ho ba no so e bi everything japade bit me akọ side internet is very very important. What we tell people they say our rejai ebe mu court no do not automatically say nneɛma na ejapade na mo nia mo wɔ no ye chemu 50-50 enti sa enye no kre. The court would make a decision based on a number of criteria and no number of person. One of the criteria no income potential, any future earnings, any properties, any other financial resources at each party and no one of the criteria court in the so to divide the assets into the bank dream say more property be fie now the property is worth $200,000 you bet 50-50 near the amount there be you bet say papa no ejuma ben na oje in future no how much can that person earn mama no so ejuma ben no in future no how much can she earn and sana you decide say okay yeah ma 50-50 and as yeah ma 60-40 until that is how the courts will decide. There's no facts rule say nya jaya and I 50-50. The second criteria also no financial needs, obligations, and responsibilities of each party in the future. Into no say mo worry na mo worry you know mo enkwala but mo decided say mo best split and enkwala na could di papa ne enchen. Don't expect say wo ma me no ye be ma the same amount as papa ne because papa ne ehwe enkwala no. I'm using the father as an example in this situation. And you know, so it's very, very important. Senkwalani could di papa ne wa. Don't expect to say woman no you be more the same
not
as
as a lawyer wa enkra ne be call ho no benya nioma kese sa
exactly because when I worship in Kwalano, they expect to say nyema wunya no wo de be den wo de be boa enkwala ehwemu. It is very very important say at this stage we will differentiate the BFN child maintenance from the needs of the children. Meaning, a lot of people they are going through financial remedy order applications. They assume say because omoye financial remedy application, courts nebeka say e bia bosumi bia ye ma me £500 na me fa nhwe enkwala no. So o pesika for enkwala no at that stage so o child maintenance for her. And only a different from this procedure ɛwɔ a yɛba abɛyɛ den yɛbɛyɛ amount for financial remedy no. Financial remedy no is looking at a lump sum a sika puduo bi ebi krampa na papa ne pension ɛso kyɛn wo pension ebia yɛpɛ sɛ share pension between the two parties ɛyɛ na nkurɔfoɔ ɛnnim sɛ so wowɔ relationship anaasɛ wote kurom ha se a one of the biggest assets people have ɛwɔ kurom ha no ɛyɛ pension. Obi wɔ hɔnom a ɔno no ɔte hɔ no ɔsi lawyer wosi mi mbɛyɛ well wosi mi mbɛyɛ mi ni hwee o but wobɛbisa ne sɛ ne pension ahe na ɛwɔ mu no na ɔwɔ bɛyɛ 200,000 300,000 ebi koraa na ɔnim mpo sɛ saa pension no ɛda hɔ ma no. The pension that people have in this country may be your biggest asset. Ben Green said, Obana Wujano Onishi, into Unyeshe, and Abemana Wujano Nishi, Abiana or pension, or Krum or El Krum has say, you don't even know about, or no crampo Bemana or no ban on number, or Numpo News say, Sasikana, Edani Jum and Mano. It's very, very important you inquire about all these things. And one another criteria court the mention a standard of living enjoyed by both parties before the divorce. Intino say worry oba na worry bema na wato o Mercedes video ma oba ne say ontwi na efe awari jai eba ben dreams so wetimi akwaje sa aka na efe oba ne nsem say sisi a onfa bus na onfa nkola nko ejuma na so onfa nkola nko school. You have created a standard of living for that party that you are married to, and they expect to say obetimi are maintaining that standard of living until when the court is making a decision as to how they should share the assets, the court will look at say what type of standard of living was the person living before the divorce, and they will try to maintain that. Ben Kase A multi 3 bedrooms, so but we no copy 1 bedroom now on renting. It may not work, it may not, the court or the judge may not tolerate that. These are some of the things that we need to look at. They look at the age and the duration of the marriage. Let's say be a man 60 or ban 20 years. There's an age gap a woman. Na mujai awara nim say be man we 60 no enche sebe obekeke bucket na oko wonso no ubenyi kakra ansana why we intimacy divide there. They need to factor in the length of time that you are going to survive after the divorce and the length of time that the man is also going to survive. Yeah, these are some of the things that we look at. And now, if you also the marriage lasted for 1 year, Owari will be 1 year now with China. Don't expect to be the same thing as Obi Awari 20 years. Something I say because there are differences. The worry 20 years with now worry anymore. There are so many things that has gone on. Sometimes people think say our regime a bear fault and I say oba fault. That means he's not entitled to anything. A mistake a cost Ghana ben cost Krum has said. So people need to understand, and that is the reason why from the beginning, I said Krum has said, divorce process and a different from the financial process. So whose fault it was before the divorce came is not relevant when coming to see a divided assets our regime. It's not relevant at all. It's the bank say, Obana could cheat and whom he has a man a capre. It doesn't work like that. Krum has say, and they said they were Odatilam to Modi and Air Cost Ghana and yes, Anna, Krum has say, had any different. See it, yeah. Then they also look at mental and physical disabilities of each party. Say our regime now one of the parties disabled and also or physical challenges be and answer a bia or best struggle kakra, the court will consider that and make provision for that and make adjustments to the need of that person. And the final criteria are boss no each contribution and as a contribution why yet our revenue. Into no if a bia wo over our revenue no don't sapa and by 153 amba obaeɛ no ebia papa no ɔwɔ ne japadeɛ dada wayɛ adwuma bɛyɛ 20 years kora kwanso na ɔba bɛware na afas na wabɛware don't expect to say straight away and wobɛware in 2 years no mo gyae no yɛde biribiara bɛkyɛm 50-50 ne ama also 50%. It doesn't work that way. They will look at how much contribution you contributed. Sometimes, I have seen so yeah, mistake. Mistake to the extent say one of the parties now and we think say the person hasn't contributed to the marriage because already it doesn't work like that. The fact of means say what you had a peace of mind to go to work without having to worry about looking after the children. Don't let us make those mistakes. You realize say clearly our rejai ever it's got financial implications. And for this reason, our rear from krata but it's very, very important that you protect yourself even before you do certain things like that because our rejai ebemwa a bit like I say, oh, also me worry nipa we have one and krata, but which with japadia half of your with japadia will chroma say into the for anxious idea and so. For this reason, we encourage people, say some person warrior, your friend be prenuptial agreement. Prenuptial agreement, the agreement be a draft between one or ban and son and my worry. Say dia our rejai ebemwa, ebe yusu and no edi achiche in yama. Sometimes okwa worry will be now pen na or dono aso mutin time. Now catch and say Brana yanko sign a document be na bibia one free I say the pan bebo aso and I'll back at say own pen into we an anchor for one person will back. But look, it's difficult conversation that need to be had and I will encourage people to do it. We also have so worry or ban it that down so not at this stage in the more person more a draft CBB. So we have a special one for such types of people as well because if they are any agreement be at the beginning. But after some with ye topic we I'm person more bomb and also you can do it. If you say our reject so eba area mubetimi etnase as Obane Bema and instead the Seboba tia lawyers na ma konto kwapo na mo tia lawyers sika left right center na mo ma ye matem once say okay what the edan na ye see ye e Kumase na me de chewo oba no there is you akra no me Bema na mefa na entiasia ye juwa na mo de mo agreement aba na assign na ye dia court e dia mamo ntine enye de bia na ye beka se mo nku koka da bi entiasia ye juma so a eboa obia. At this stage, we believe say people have understood some of the things that goes into sa applications way and umbebo omhuban. Me name say obo question be an so
lawyer me pacho me wo question be me person me busa o ewo aha say answer na me question so me hu obi text messages bi obi comment bi na ye mesere pa o say mami adwoa o so oni ni kunu eja ye no ni kunu fa bibia including Sky News Sky TV ni kunu no efa ni nyina edekoi ekuro mi ha na asa Ghana
Sky dia ha
ana Ghana
Sky
eni ewu kunu no ya ade pa na unim lawyer ana sa atam na unim platform yi ke ebekọ akọje Sky box no back e de abrew wate se kura mpa ho so lawyer mpa ho ana che de apa ho mami adwa ye bi contact lawyer na ye lawyer wo kasa wo ka bibi e wo child maintenance ho na me pese me ba me de ko back ho na wo see obi wo ho a oye divorce oni ni kunu ana na yiri jaya enkura no etimi ekodi be ma ne ho most of the time no ya na ma dia so ma dwene mu say akukọ ba tan ene ne ba enante enti ehye emema bebra adwene mu ene ma bebra adwene mu say mi jaya ware a enkura no me na me de omo ekọ enunti se me de enkura ne kọ a e wo say be ma no japade minya bebre na me sanje child maintenance e de ehwe nkra no lawyer eye possible say divorce ba ana separation ba bema no etimi decide say obehwe nkra no okay ye de bema nkra ne bema no is it possible say child maintenance bema no ebetimi de oba na call child maintenance ana child support to say min bema no me fa ne say me Eugene me na me hwe nkra no say me yire na me ne ware ye ne de wagya oba na gya nkra na me bema no okọ enu nti child maintenance fo nyi sika e wo oba ne ho mfa me e ma ono bema ne hwe nkra no e possible sir
very possible very possible e wo krom ha say we share child maintenance laws na they haven't said say oba na child maintenance ina they haven't said say bema na child maintenance dioma can say dia akwala na etine nchen no odo no child maintenance so to me say enye say oba and bema they haven't made any differentiation into oba timiji child maintenance or bema nso etimiji child maintenance eno no ese ehye nkrofo adwen mu. Secondly no say eba ne child maintenance possible say woni oba no and woni bema no mu shared with parental responsibility bia akwala no ye che we afinimu mienu a akwala ni be di 6 months wo bema ne ho na wakodi 6 months wo oba ne ho a eno sa no child maintenance ye beti mu pepepe enye wo na wo begi ni nia da bi ntino eno nso possible ntino we shouldn't get the impression say whether say we akwala to bema ne nche na akwala to oba ne nche ss oba ne enya child maintenance. It doesn't work like that. And secondly, if akwala even though oti oba nchen oba bema nchen for a long like a number of days in a year, ebetimi ati child maintenance so until the child maintenance amount na wonche no ye better so until let's assume say woni oba ejai but you are happy say bia every third weekend akwala ba be di weekend ewo honoma the expect so oba also be to aduane ama akwala no into the amount na we tuama oba no for child maintenance so we catch mo na omote so. Secondly, so owo enkwala foforo ewo baby a wo enkwala hyehyehye to kromu wo Ghana ne ade so to me declare no so because and also be reduce the amount of child maintenance na to your money panel. Into all these factors, come to play when it comes to paying of child maintenance.
Okay, etie for maybe a phone lines at no be adding a question saba yemre no ekwo edada any question be a person ubusa lawyer biano me pacho and no first time I woba platform you I had a very educative platform I have say na person woba bruchira wo betimi afa so aba and necessary for any carers for sponsors no or more assign a resume me pacho ubetimi afre me wa wo nurses any carers sponsors no na pacho nye free ubetimi afre me after the program no wo free program mi so a me pacho me modin busa any question be apeso busa driving license no any mo amaware a mo ye divorce no me pacho me ba any mo amaware a mo ye divorce no me de to onyame yadoma next week e be di hu nkomo because yemre no aye ebe e di amame ena nipa na mo hwa me kra mo nya enough e wo se me ka aware divorce no e homa amaye aware nkrata ene mo so a mo use eye fake enye fake driving license kra eye genuine na emom no nyemo na mokotena ase koye exams obi na koye exams ne maamo ena obi akotwade abremo me ne mo ebedi hu nkomo. Hello, good morning me pacho me modi numbers no me pacho mo fan to YouTube emma me sweetie me pacho ye nko me modi
very person me kakra
me pacho kasa
so you do ne buku ka omo hona fi o pese o yen krasa na o buku na ne so o yesa obi ma me be fa o na wa to se ne ba no entimi ye yesa
me fa ne say lawyer was wadi aduro na ni buku aka omo ho en na say o pese o ye adoption o pese o ye adoption ne ma me e be fiber adopt no eno no ebe ye sa ni buku aka wo omo ho.
Say what people need to understand is say say we adoption, okay, and as we any type of application, echo we home office. Now say unkrata no ekoda ho book no ekoda ho, it doesn't make any difference. And one is say any future application be obey be and obey catch almost say why application that and our document ewo adoption also about be currently say evidence very strong because remember say once a 1 year application done or record of asema wo kan previously and they will compare it to your current nyama wo person we then or compare with I tell people say any application be able efficacy be keep a copy because now about a new application they will need to compare both documents and it shouldn't be a problem.
Me pacho what you say or see any problem sir. All right. Me da say me pacho mama hold you more line so nyina no mun hold you on enfama me. Hello, good morning me da for me pacho lawyer to you. Me pacho lawyer ahanye wa sister pacho gina so why. Hello, me pacho wa line so no lawyer 8 ye unti me pacho yenko entiem. Me pacho lawyer tie wo.
Hello.
Yes, darling, yenko.
Hello.
So, pacho lawyer, I'm person we about question B. About say one real estate a company be wo Ghana mark agreement na agreement no a constant way contract that most time no. Almost 80 we say 70% which we are almost you keep them on betray like almost the old dying keep them on with me work with him.
Yes.
But I did best 6 months no. Omobu.
Emraniso.
Inti pato with me then I'll with me I found.
Okay.
Yo, Minyabema say who sign a contract with company Ewo Ghana. I need to see the contract, because any contract we are over signing they will write in there say in case of any breach, then they be see into a better contract anymore. And based on that, I believe say the Ghana law na mo be use at the afasa contract into me advice and say obe pe lawyer e Ghana na o person will take you on or me pursue sa ade na ma unless it's person will you seek back with interest, then that's also something that you may have to speak to a lawyer e Ghana no so aboa or sa kwan so why
Me da say lawyer me pacho umiuti wo hono kakra emfa ema me why wada wroma lowo phone no tie free hono ema me. Hello me dof me pacho yenko wa was no. Hello me pacho yenko me pacho ye wa me dofo
yo me pacho
aha lowo phone no tie free computer ho
mo boa ye so bebre
me da say
me pacho me question e fa social workers no omo agema na ekwan omo de me nam so no fact ano thing
oh
akola no e fight sa de bia no okunto kwasa di ma complain a lot omo nya ho hwe ana me anka so ni obi obaje na ma me na opra wona no ka na no tekeo omo se be na mama na no apai nto omo be fa nkwara no nyina di me nchen
omo ye say
enam de omo ye me nka
okay
nti omo be fa me nchen nyina ti nchen sa de me akoko
oh
baby ya no court na omo ade me akoko 2 times omo say next court in November. By the same time, two near innocent, or many problems, yeah. But Omapa, two near Nakawami, think almost a two no kura mammy, almost a so, almost mammy, and on Kwana, sometimes to see I'm no cafe.
Naya, whom Krama, what is I need sleep because me near give a minister at the popular this one. Omo why and Camry Pese, Omo do mammy, no, the Omo court to send me the Omo continue on New York, and yet the Omo, but they come see me. Omo Muame, into the part of me advice, and Kadabuame Kakra. So you say, now I am a dream to miss some health to soon as say. Okay. Okay, and Cranu who Omo, Yamako Henkran, Omo Fan Cranache.
Mr.
Omo Fan
2 months in Homo.
Uhu omo.
Why ne de me hu wine no kra de ono ko fan some by de me hu ne ta.
De ono ka na no. Me pacho ye wi a frem me do be ma social worker panyi bi. Social worker panyi a ono ne san me eje nkra ne free won obi nsem no me do be ma no na oye Ghana ni Awurade adom oye Ghana ni ono be advice so more de wo betumi aye if possible kro betumi aboa mo age nkra no back every one nsem. Lawyer me pacho brema e wo so ohia advice.
Well, said the idea about a kind, what means as Sikasem difficult man. What that means in say she is struggling, say, of a private solicitor because care proceedings, a very expensive process. Care proceedings, the number of times I'm over courts back and forth. It's very, very difficult for me to sit here and say, oh, without seeing evidence now or more dear banner say fine ways near the faso the abua a very difficult mama. But advice I made the man say on their own tea whatever the lawyer is saying. Say they are also kind, over social worker at their man now one or two advice. Now we require over to me faso, but say a do stage be now open say ube here now all the documents and so ever. Near share their social services for an air can, any local authority in the air can. Then we can look at it and then we can advise you. But my person who documents now, sana, mama advice. Say that we don't charge for initial consultation. Yeah, initial consultation is free. There's always all the documents in the banner. You free mama and my advisor. I'm more than happy say after the program, boyfriend you book appointment someone. Why?
Okay, lawyer me pacho sister no na de atoso sister wo friend say social worker for age wo me do kokko to ba wo niska de be fa private lawyer sikasem ne nye problem enka Ghanaians say what the documents ne ba na wo hwema no na possibility ebi wo mu chances bi wo ma ye betimi aboa no ye nua Ghana ni e betimi agigiska na de support ne lawyer fee e de amano me I'm ready to do that. Me de nebe ma social worker ni bi so sister na wo frɛ ye no frɛ lawyer after the program no nefa wo documents ne ko kire no na won hwɛ evidences ne charges o mo de abo e bi kura na there is more to the wo kan no e na ma o magina so agem kura no say if possible say you can win the case ye Ghana for ye betimi aboa. Hello? Aha, lawyer say me pacho lawyer say fa wo document ne bre no won hwe. Me
pacho yo ni pacho na wo de ni email na ma me wo phone no so.
Na wo
send me ya ma wo phone.
Bra program ne so ne betro.
Me London.
Bra program ne so ne bra betro. Ye wi a wa send de ama me ni lawyer email. E wo so ye wi program na afre me do be ma man bi. Why? Hello me pacho wa line ne so ne yenko. Me pacho ye was with the yenko. Morning pacho lawyer to you. Oh, who when your results? Me so when me lawyer PK kasa. You refuse to not just when your results. And me lawyer PK kasa no so be so or yeah fresh application no ye de ono so de amano. Enti won't you say so me refuse you?
Because they say you no they say because they 2.5.
Yes. Enuntia lawyer me pacho or say ne Zambrano na wodi kotu mu no wadi nkan e wo 2.5 years dada e no de kotu mu Zambrano no enra no wanya ne feedback say refuse no na won ti ase ba refusal reason ne say omude kan won ne say waye 2.5 years dada but still was won ti ase until betimi a kire na say.
Well, say their home office for a day or more changes and as a guidance, publishing just a few weeks ago. I think say almost publishing on the 13th of June. What they were saying is yes, and the home office for an answer almost assembly echo court. The court told them say almost reconsider position, and I say the way I almost interpreting law, no? And for that reason, you know, don't find new policy and the guidance and my enco for engineer so any application, but they insist that they want to maintain the old policy now a honor, despite the fact that courts in Akasa. You know, yes, 2.5 years now, what that now, yeah, this I refuse away at the abroad. No. It is not new. But what people are doing at this very moment, you know, you need to have a discussion with your lawyer. Say, refusal now or modiama. Are you happy to challenge it? To go to court and challenge it? Or 2, are you happy say obeji fee waiver? Now I 2.5 years at the atwaso.
Okay.
At the moment, you know, it has not affected the fact that time I will be indefinite on the 2.5 years.
Okay.
But you need to understand, say, then I will answer no opeso will the cost of going to court, any the cost of paying 1,500, any NHS fees in a so anybody who finds themselves in that situation, we tell them, say, what be so say if in the next 6-7 months you don't plan say ube to kwanya. Okay, you don't have any plans that will be too quiet. I will say, go ahead and challenge it. But if within the next 6 months, you know, we plan to say if you are too quiet to be here on passports, yeah, they too quiet there. Then the advice is say, for a fee waiver if you can qualify for it.
Now continue 2.5 years.
Continue 2.5 years. But there's no break. Refusal no will not mean say there's any break.
Yeah, that's it. Debbie, who kwaya appeal in the cry affect 2.5 years no. All right, me that's it. Hello, me pacho wa the private number afreni enko.
Morning.
Good morning. Me pacho en kasalo yeti.
For recently, I've been trying to make but I don't know how to do this. Someone who moved school, roughly about 5 years.
But you wait, my voice suka kama me. The voice is very low, Abna.
Right now, I'm a bit of panic. My panic in terms of let me go ahead with a more process now. Because Nanka, the time coming to move in the country, they will fall below 18. Because for a long period of time, I'm sure I mean, who are not they are over 18 now. Now, a panic because a dear moment to call embassy was a sample and in did 2 or more. And I may back room, I may get my application the same. It didn't different.
Me pacho me bao jinaso.
So right now I'm in a limbo right now as in terms of how am I going to help them to get here.
Okay. Okay. Lawyer me pacho yenua bema no ese ne ma e wo Ghana bra me pacho ye ba ko ana mienu. Hello bra wo ma no mo ye 2 ana 1. Bra me pacho woman no mo ye 2 and now 1. Omo ye twins. Lawyer was in ma twins or Ghana omo di 21. Wo kra yi yunkrata me boa. Bra wo kra yi yunkrata. Wo nkrata be ni kra. Okay, lawyer also grab British book na ne ma twins e wo Ghana more 21, which is British passport they disqualify so do mo beba na emomu no enkobe nante akonkura na chi enkura na woda no obekọ mo chi amomanya 18 years. What you say na enkura ni school wo mutu kwan ko British embassy ko visa school no but ya amfa amankura no omo refuse nkura no. Ena onu onim si e bon kra ne nsa no si amon kra ne nsa no at that time. Ena wo ba abrochire no na won tin kra ne nka enti kra ne maame kosesa enkra ne din. Ba wono papa ne free Ghana no edin anu onim si e different ne ma no eno no ode ye ne visa e de ba ye odi fill ne form e de ba ye. enti say no nyame na dom wanya ne nkrato okura ne British passport wa hu ne ma no opeso okofo mo ba 1 edi na ye mienu o maame ne momu din foforo eno nkra ne de akọ embassy da ena wonim se ye bo nkra ne nsa no ye refuse nkra no ena 2 ono esnu din a ono de to ne nkrata so 3 enkra no omo nyinyini omo 20 ene ne 1 ba no de nkenya problem obe nante nkra ne de o makọ omachi ama makonya 18 o se osuro say so obe ya application obe ya kra na ekwa abai enkra ne abo mo nsa na oso onye hio ba o makọ embassy ho am ye refuse o mo da enkra ne din susu no omo maame akọ change di aye passport foforo aye birth certificate foforo enti is there any help a wo betimi aboa no ana wonye den ana womra office
oba office anka beboa but say who say ye be here DNA
lawyer maintain on call phone so
ye be here DNA ultimate can phone so hold on but ultimate can
lawyer meetie o
ye be here DNA because of issues now a war way no so no DNA will be very, very important. With the other issues efa ya born in Sano Dano, we need to know the year of your previous application, you know. Into the Minya Bema, after the program, you know, framing. Na yenhwe kwan a ebetimi aboa. If ebetimi aboa, I will let you know. Yentimi so boa so a emo asonti. Why?
Bra me pacho wote. I lawyer say friend. Why? Ain't you we are friend? Don't worry.
Second one, no. The person, second one.
Patrojina so. Bra men tie who free ho second one na ye den enkofo of.
Second one no me problem ba ko me wo me baba ko me friend free Ghana buy na there's a bit of a problem kaka as in terms of it me say me the makunta me papa
ba oba
na akwani me ya do be promo na ninkata yimu akwa problem kaka like no ya the man no wa send you say them to we are refusing we are now trying to appeal
akran wadi fie say
akran no wadi 17 or 18 right now Nigeria will be from
na mo ya adoption na asa mo anya adoption no ane so de ko se wo ba
because to be honest with you application in na lawyer no I can be a so she was the one who sat down and did all this.
Okay, wonim enya problem ye wi afre lawyer Daniel ene no first time I wo hwe ya na
oh there be my show
ena ade koma wo de koma VW fo enti ase no de bread Benz for sin repair nyame na ayo sa ye osre ye wi afa frɛ lawyer obeboa why
but to be honest with you this is the first time I show program we as terms of winning lawyer me that me walk around my wife by
okay
that's how it is
na make us our first time when you saw sin wo ba emergency hour so ba immigration there ne okay ene me pa cho frɛ aha ye remre di mre dware mra obeboa why bre wo sere wo sere o me pa cho frɛ why ye wi afre lawyer hello me pa cho wa line so ye nko me pa cho ye wa ye nko
yo mpacho me be no okata maintenance
Patrojina so why
me wo plot and
Patrojina so
has me ususu menyam kwa me legal guardian emma me kan daughter ne papa no ye call court no and then no for apala no say apala enya 9 years na on share akwa me so menya support bi amia aye dwuma in kala dwuma this Papa no so nam krom ha. Da chi obeka se ne ba no. Nti me bisa se e kwan bi wo fa me to nya.
Wo se ye wo nana ne akra no.
Mpacho a.
Akra ne maame we.
Ne man o yarefo.
Ai wo ye yarefo na se papa ne nhwe akra na obetimi se wo na wugina as a gardener. Council for ama authorization meboa.
Mpacho.
Ai enti obetimi de papa na kocha maintenance. Lawyer me pacho o se akra ne sebi o maame adwene mu aka kakra enti onana na wono wage akra no owo authorization nyina council for ama na yi a wo hwe no. Ba akra ne papa nhwe akra no obetimi de papa na ma child maintenance.
Oh yes, obetimi de akra ne papa ko child maintenance. Yes.
Hello auntie.
Once
ai me pacho
guardianship program.
Like me pacho nye wagina so enru so. Me pacho wa wo child maintenance no. Yeah, lawyer so obetimi de papa no ama child support for. Why? Obetimi de papa na ma child support because una wo hwe enkura akura no sesei. Fane kono omo niska mam. Yes, me pacho yenko medofo. Nyame da so hira yo mo na ebre.
Ye de urade ase. Me pacho me problem ne say me ma me ne busa fo nyina wa ha. Na be 4 months here na me seka me passport. Na me mba so wa ha me baba kwa university ba kon yo da so ko. Na minim mo ma ti minim kwa me paso amenya de de na pacho me tin tu ni.
Won fa so a wonya wo de esen afa na wonya Italian passport a wo de aba ha.
Me pacho ai.
Anti wo pese hu so be da nya wo settlement wa ha.
Me pacho ai.
Wo mana wo mo wa ha sei no. Ewo nkrata so say ye wo ma.
Me pacho ai.
Yo, lawyer yi na no e.
Pacho on repeat question.
Lawyer me pacho wo say oye Italian. Afa no wanya ne nkrata wo Italy en wa ba ha. Ba ne man so wo kromi ha. Sister wo ma no mu kra nkrata.
Me pacho ai, oma ya ma omo nkrata da ba ko university. Ah o ye aduma, ba ko so wo university. Ah o be wie next year.
Anti lawyer, wono wa ba ha no obetimi aboa na ma wagina nkura ne so.
Oh yes, on friend beji ne pre-settled status amount.
Okay.
Why?
Anti me pacho lawyer say friend ye wie program afre no obeboa mo age why?
Obeboa na age pre-settled status amount. Why?
Me pacho wo so nti twro ana test me de be ma osesi a why?
Me pacho yo me da.
Okay, test me so open lawyer dan number. Hello legend yenko legend next week me ba Manchester.
Matema bra ya ma mi huta ni we a oba.
Meba
e be bi kora oba.
Meba me there be hotel ho de me nka. Meba me no be kasa kire me nka hotel no public.
O mathematics die.
Me no be kasa. Meba Manchester next week Saturday. Meba your program. Yankasa legend yanko lawyer tie.
Oh, me chia lawyer dan ya fe no ya on camera.
Yeah, just
ma lawyer pick bufa de so catch the class na me nkwatra se no so atena se na lawyer pick aba.
Patch original so na end school why.
Ready. Lawyer mpachu mi busa se me friend say obi a woni EU ni aware wo ko ware ni wo fie ne baaye wo nyina ye kana fo. By say bi on pese o mu jaya ware na ye possible say o mu betimi ejai wo Ghana ho na so mu jai so wo ho no mon so a e wo so mu wisu ha no e bro mu ye divorce address o mo te so na wo so mu wisu ha de no na e de so
lawyer me pacho yi na no e omo mienu nyina ate ha e na omo ware free Ghana ne ba ye bo omo ye divorce no omo ti he so omo akoye divorce no Ghana also person who say omo ye divorce na omo fa address no omo de juice okromi ha no e na enhye so anase sen.
The issue of habitual residency and a cause problems when you afraid be habitual residency say as a person and if an would drink say what would drink say what krum and as a what Ghana okay obi wo hono ma o krum ha but not draining a BBI chess what Ghana into no not dream no even though our hano he thinks what Ghana into no obetini use Ghana address e dey share divorce no so the problem are nkrofo sa na experience na na make ho asem beginning of the program they say open so ukoye aware foforo e okrom hase a emra ne be kire say we need to show say 12 months and so that we jaya aware e foreign country Ghana no na e ho na wote because wote ho no man na kire say wote kro ni mo say enye ho no na wote a krom ha for e ma ho kwan e ma won san ware foforo e okrom ha. That is what the law says. Say a ban immigration and so immigration home office guidance and also no. They have stated it there. Say, see the marriage and a divorce certificate if you Ghana eba. Omo making sure some be check it say 12 months before the divorce, no. Then you panel Ghana. Unfortunately, and as fortunately, Home Office for do not refuse people because Oman fast are evidence in the amber. For the past 5 years, me who obia you refusing it because oko worry and as oko jai aware e Ghana. Me who be that at the moment. But I know say sa rule no eda so e Home Office book no. Inti me nim da me nim so wo a obekwa akoye bi no. You be the first person that you be refusing there be. But I know say that law no e wo.
Enti na chese lawyer, wo pesa wo kire say Ghana ene omo ye ne dia Ghana address no mo de hye so ena ade ba so be refuse omo nye. Ena se kromia na e wo se wo ye no because lawyer say by law no e wo se kro na wo jai wo so no watena ho continuously for 12 months. Enti that is a legend. Which is which? E wo se mo ye no wa ha.
Okay. Na ekom semen fan say nipa ni ye no or the quiet retention of right. Na semen fan say no sa no tina ma me e busa ama no say bia or the quiet retention of right. But men fan say minim bi omo no e jai wo fi omo sa de aye yidie.
Ene ye bi e.
But say on say emra no tem bi esesa tina mi busa lawyer because do bi aye ne na ano no enye ne eno no na ye 20 nipa ne kan say o waye ni wo fi no eno na ema mi busa ehun e because say dey quiet retention of
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, me da say.
Okay.
Hello, me pacho wa waso no yenko. Meje also.
2.5 years in it. So, I come third time. We need the fourth time on it. We need to apply for indefinite, and I'm going to apply for 2.5. And then the main question is say we know this time yet like
okay, me pacho was what third time I wukuni.
My third time on the last one.
We know fourth time. And me pacho we wunyi indefinite. We will san kwaje another 2.5 years. Enti after 4 times no wakono. O fourth time na wakono. O 11th year no na wakwaje we indefinite leave to remain. Lawyer, no kwaje ne indefinite na also your life in the UK test.
In Pachuan, say oye life in UK test. Then say oye English test. Yeah, nanko for your mistake. The Bromodian say life in UK test. No, opa koye naturalization pet and we hear life in UK test. That be so opa koye we indefinitely to remain and so I will hear life in UK test.
Okay, me that say sister Pacho what you say? Debbie, who kwaje 2.5 years ago, you don't need life in the UK test. Nyame ya wadom, na who kwaje 4 time ni wie. Na 11th year, who kwaje wo indefinite na, and I will be here life in the UK test. Why? Okay. Hello, me pacho wa was on the young call.
Hello, Stabna, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sweetie.
Pacho, me pese me busa lawyer sem.
Me pacho busa no sweetie.
Pacho na me wo 10-year route ne so. Enti me call me third one no. And I me switch calls Amrano. It is Amrano no me call no mu refuse.
I also mo refuse.
Na me appeal e court no. And a court say every 2 weeks I mean come back to me route no na me 10-year route.
Me pacho ye tie wo.
Pacho me tie.
Me a court, you know, a court, not court to say. Court I say you see, almost a man come back to the 10 years.
Jina so en pacho.
Ain't me
Pacho da be na o court na wan na ye.
Am I going to continue? And I say, almost better start me for.
Pacho, you will continue.
Obe continue. Okay.
Why?
All right. Me da say. Nyame enshra. Bye. Me pacho ma mo YouTube na mo busa lawyer Daniel number no me se mo fan to YouTube ho ma me. Hello me pacho wa wo so yenko. Good morning. Pacho na in scholar one pacho. Pacho.
Me pese me call worry me na even in education you form for life in UK ni you know. Say want to me nya kwan be na me fa so a obetimi me benefit with me no baba.
Okay, lawyer okofa ne partner basa ware. Ontimi nye English test no kwan ben.
So okofa o partner ba na so ontimi nye English test na e kwan bi eni ho ji say or medical condition and now so say Omanico school na okoye sa English no. So okofa wo yiri efigana aba English test ni level A1. A very basic. Until minim say bia o wife na ebe struggle kakra but ye wo schools kakra wo hono ma o metimi e coaching no ma boa no na o metimi ama na eden aye into no odi frame me after the program no say wakoye there your British Council hona wentimi pass ya there is another English test provider e wo hono ma me the details in every man na onko try and no so na on say e no dey obetimi pass ya why
And a lawyer me pacho what about say or the neighbor as a oji fiancé visa nen ko de ne fiancé ne ba fiancé visa de so de ba obetimi aware no wa ha ana
so o de fiancé visa eba obetimi aware no wa ha but ontimi NG spouse visa and ontimi NG 2.5 years and no after the fiancé you know but you also say that is the problem yes so no obe here you did say bia oba na obefa ifunu dia then ebetimi ato aso aba
nti ene wo bi asabi wontimi ntworo de nko mrai onye fiancé visa ne mbra ne nka wabenyem hello me pacho wa woso no ye nko lawyer 8 you hello me pacho lawyer 8 you me pacho mi nua be me ye wa good morning me da say eh 10 years so gina ne ba so de eh 10 years no mo de ma no oko 5-year route lawyer wo gina nkra ne so e ma 5 years
Utimi switch ko 5 years.
Utimi switch ko 5 years. Okay.
Yeah, OJ 10 years in the first one and if you was
switch aba. Okay. Brand patch okoso.
The time on us if you say only indefinite no so you say definitely with me here priority service because we give you a person continue definitely now you know with the priority service and I say we priority service.
Una in scholar why lawyer me pacho indefinite obetimi a priority
pacho indefinite obetimi a priority
oh very good bra me pacho so obetimi a fast track why
yo ana the person em say the program hanu yo ali yo ni no bi bra ye your friend say madam isia o baby a em say arrangement of we here say only the one count on for para the any of a song finding the em say okay them only about no way ma bano the akolana your person here and the BBI but before mobile one them say we are agreement say idea of a hand in because I am one or the one I we need written everything. Written agreement or what the bar, hopefully, near walk a text message, two text messages, who say, agreement on my end, or what all the hand discussion here. As you see now about or the Apollo, the open review. They all have them and the I saw on financial child maintenance. And you know, them and so bit near you are now on the day. Women for me, and son of Wapala. Daddy of the kids can be salary. I said, them and a bit near you are, you know.
Okay. Mate, lawyer, me pacho bra you question in the say ne mic na say wa bra ne question in the say ohia wo baby and I was na downfall. Ehia wo baby. Na wo ba no epese bra wa downfall no onu won krata won eje nkrata ne ma akora na na.
I only think krata ne ma akora.
Okay. Ohia ne girlfriend. Ena again ne ka so opeso wo again ni nkrata no again ni yusu akra no edeje nkrata enti ono bra yi no ene again ne chat o mo chat into what evidence ye chat no wo ho ena again ne ka kire se wo de oni mewu a enhwa akra no enhwe no emani sika ento milk ma no ento pampers ento wipes we ya kwantwem nsem ento hwe mfama no na emomu no me de me hwehwa ne se wo de wo ne menwo na eje won krata na ekura woni bi ma akora no eye be ma na nyi bi ma akora no na wono wo ba no nyina so mfa nyi bi ono de oje krata ne ma ni wi a ohia be ma no esika bra wo da so ne ge no da so be ma ne da so ne wo ho o ma jai enti no wo ma wo o ma twempena no o ma wo e na be ma na je krata ma akora no e na ma me na gina so de agi bie maami ni nya nkrata ni wieye no en wo twe papa ne se woni ma wo nhwa akora no wo ma akora ni sika ma ne pampas o ma ne hwe en ye sa na tie dia me de wo kokoma child maintenance fo en na be ma no busa se ono oba ni hia ye no omo antro written contract na emom omo ye chat text message se me de me wo akora no me mpeba en oba ne se me de me peba etu do ne me wona ma me nkrata na emom me busa wo sika bia nhwa akora no enti be ma ne se se no oba ne air force ne se on fa sika me fa nhwa akora no o de ne be kocha maintenance no onu so betimi ayusu chat no omo chat no e dia fight again na se wo na wo se me wo a ma me nhwa akora no enti o de me kwa akwa eden
abuna you can be na check WhatsApp and send a message to na check WhatsApp but question is very interesting. I'm going to say obana dada no or dada no na wa wo ba ne fe or say ordinary child maintenance unfortunately no ontimi use WhatsApp na find child maintenance no ombeji won so what different excuse you or no modi agise or the no bana ontimi use WhatsApp chat na and cause because of obanika say on join different one ntino ontua enya de beto aso ntino ne de I'm very sorry yama wama obana dada
na wo bra ka kire wadawfo kro ne se wakobu pa akora no mo pomu mpo o se mo kohwe no what be da so oni ma ko chat ne ma ye contract se me de me why boafo na what be da what be da ah boafo what be da ye pon afrɛ me na me no ni nkomo why ye pon afrɛ me ne ye ni nkomo cha maintenance no fa wo nkoba wo de ye pon afrɛ me ye nkasa ye mfa kwaya wo mfa wo nkoso why Ghana for me mama hyem ho bone enye eye bone munyai what be da hello me pacho ye nko oh what get ya gina fun you so acha
hello Sabra
yes ye nko na menya lawyer eye ko se wat nye hwe lawyer o so ko ye dwuma ye nko
yo me pacho beno so me ya zambrano ni bra me de me try yo mo dia ma me
o mo dia ma o ai why ye be da
But my first time
aha na lawyer can say mom afa ni mo first time mo kwa ne de my lucky de be mamo
me da ai oya pick as pa why dia pa ti da na
chojina so
na person go lawyer say me wo baba nti say ono no menye bi ma na say menya onya 7 years na maji indefinite ni bi amana acho
Impacho so open say we took find dia ma NGB man why
me pacho lawyer say friend no na mbe ye bia ma akora no nso so
me pacho you me da say
o de we
pacho na me pacho say enya advice Ghana for mo form ma no enco children center omo form enco park because my evidence na mo didi na ni nyina be free ho
oh okay
so when you krata wo ko ho mo nya wo hwe no atori akona akodi agro e ba e ho me ti be free na me ko ya nya ko
oh good
etimi abo me tell ya so ho no wudi nkomana no de afoka
me da se pa wate nyame nhyira hello wa woso no yenko
hello pacho me asika
yeah eye wa
yo beda me pacho me person bisa lawyer say me ye divorce paper me pacho me kasa
ai kasa me tie wo ye divorce paper
aha me ye no somewhere 207 na the me man no e ware ye
aha me pamocho lawyer number no sister gina so lawyer number ni gugu ase ho bebre mesre mo me enipa amahodu omo oso ye 2 ye wi amemfa course bia biom ti mon frɛ lawyer after pacho yen kasa sister
yo na ye ye ware ye no na ye anyway normal ya ware ya ko ye no ya ye waiting but ben mano ewofa emigina e na le so side me na bi emigina e ti be mano wofa ne first time bia e maaye but ama wari ja ye ba me me for Ghana 207 me call ye no e na me ko filing for divorce if me party ye na ja e de ma me sister ma me continue ma me but anyway me to divorce paper
bonne tofa ma me
Name Tikum Hanaman Koga, Mantana Ghana for 12 months.
Aha.
File for divorce, you know. Not some years back, I'm year divorce. They say, as a person, they can't for worry with Krum Hasia. It doesn't have to see, and I send it to me some worry with Krum Hasia.
Yo, lawyer me pacho you na no e.
Se opese okoware e wo Krum Hasia. Registry for no local authority na obekwa komo mo notice say opese oware no a odi divorce certificate na be tro mo e be bisa say for evidence na ebra so we nya sa evidence na ekire say na wo ti Ghana 12 months before we jai aware na registry na ma wo kwan e ma wo jai aware no and no your friend a limping divorce but we jai aware but jai so what you see this opese osanko ware nipa na e wo Ghana e dey we need problem but so opese ware e wo Krum ha now decide divorce certificate ni bank kwa de na time now 2007 now we Krum ha dia registry no might have problems they may ask you questions so we lucky na registry na be hwe na say oyema odia then there was someone but a registrar ni bisa o dia untimi so ntwa ntro so kind of creating because you can under oath into the can ntwa with me issues criminal issues into the minia bas so person why we come had with me cause problem somehow so person why we fear dia any
problem anti me pacho what you say
okay but just me pacho okay ni kama mnen ye be ware no ye from class or no on in class I miss no me
any problem any on immigration dey any problem
no
on fan immigration crown pa a problem or local authority
why as on fan immigration create a problem
okay
why intimate me akoware Ghana
bet me akoware Ghana
Ghana dey bet me aware ho ni inside bibia ho
yes there be
okay
hello me dof me pacho yenko lawyer ti o me pacho me just 2 minutes mo morning time hello yenko
hello Abraham pacho emia
eye wa yenko
me pacho me tell ni lawyer na na ma bo ma basini aduma pa ma ye we dem question bin am person be about child maintenance na me be say onyo obi wo na child maintenance ni se woni nipa ni din na wo ni phone number
but unim na wodane ni na ya other details na ofre wo ma e work out ana.
Yes,
lawyer, enipa na wone ne wo ye no unim ni date of birth.
Me patcho dey.
Unim ni din ko ane ne telephone number na unim.
Me patcho ai.
Na no wo twam na wo si anana.
Ni wo birth certificate no so.
Lawyer say.
Ni din wo birth certificate no so ana.
Sister, was it?
I've been always so hard of ban.
Akura ni din wo birth certificate ni so ana.
Ni din so ni so.
Ka pe baby tena.
Any possible. Say.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, very difficult.
Mami nya we na de ko pe baby tena. Wo fa mpena. Mo de mo atina kwantuo mu nsem. What dear friend? Last call akwantu endure na akwantuo mu nsem yenko. Last call yenko mpacho. Hello, me pacho yenko lawyer tio.
Me chiawone lawyer nyina. Because and then da edika ya me ba program so.
Nyame nhira wate.
So me nya je pa me da wa so ni munyi ma pa mo ye.
Eme.
So me ko se me say me the student visa ni we ni.
Aha.
Na nyango pa do ba na me ba no so unfortunately for me no. That me to bank me and school no. Enti the international program that more car and car some sort of videos. Now, I'm a better power on your maybe obi chat jana a year ma. It's apart as no, as I know the first in command and all the same say the bit near a year car. My mom wants them ramen support. My one more ban or Ghana. It's true that it's just about the document in that one, and a person who is about Obedra, and then making the first one, and Boamiama, Minkata, and Wahanam, I go through Amber.
Lawyer, meaning and one another in ano. Okay, bra. Ye we program na no afre me. Why friend number we ya me no kasa so school ni de wanko. Etin ka wo kofa wo yire na ba na de na ekofa na ba.
Ono nso no ye independent e ma obi a wo ba school.
Oh, ye pon afre me. Why? O frame me aka me say wo so na ye student ni ni nkomo why? Me da sick. Lawyer me pacho ka wasem a person wo ka kire tiefo na sorry lawyer wa appointment na onko na me to aso.
No problem. Yeah, that's bebre. Mom joining and then the person will be here Monday to Friday, 9:30 to 5:30. We'll frame phone number now. Yeah, be and summer. You be book your appointment in summer. A free consultation. Or Milton Keynes and so now person will be here. Or Milton Keynes are every Thursday, 9:30 to 5:30. We'll frame you be booking appointment amount near text address and amount. Now we'll be here. Or Milton Keynes. Into one more looting. Care training well in Braniana, yes, Remoa, Mufrea, your time and mount. I beat me a whom a war, Milton Keynes. Yeah, that's it. One will join me, I will share. So that's a bit brave.
Yo, yeda lawyer and so asibe brain. Yamisha lawyer, yeda say anyone church mu madam ase. Etie for bibiara o kan me ho ene eye Fort Worth solicitors ene no mo twetwe nkomo no eye one of mo directors ena ye ne no etena say eye lawyer Daniel Quill ene ye ne no etena so we mra di mra fremra kanche mra pusu mra no mra ehye mra atade ehye mra suit enti ene wo first time wo join the program ya every Fridays ye ne lawyers etena say Tuesdays and so no ye ne lawyer different lawyer and so etena say every Thursday biano ye emergency hour ye bompa ye di apaye fra paye ebuse rade se rade bremu na de adudie agese wo asafo rade obam ebi enti ya wade bia don mix ya wada mpaebɔ kɛseɛ paa ya wada mpaebɔ sɛ ne Awurade enam so egye nkɔfo a wɔn wɔ empunkyire mu no enya asɛm ketewa woba ye ni abre ɛbɔ mpaeɛ ɛno ne yɛfrɛ no emergency hour enye prophetic enkom hye de yate ayabrɛ yate nkom hye ayabrɛ bra ne bɛbɔ mpaeɛ bedi apaye benoma paye betafre apaye yare na ɛda wo so no ɛbɛkɔ ɔhaw na ɛda wo so no ɛbɛkɔ wahyɛ dan mu wasu akyɛ wate ase wasu akyɛ adansedi Awurade na emergency a waso de ba no ɛboro adwen ne ntiase so adanse testimonies every day testimonies are rocking because why empaye trosem ne say bompaye ewa abra wo mre ho enti e bia wafa bucket ne so e na wo nenam na wo je mpaye wasum eye wo hene yen hyehye wo nkom da bi wo ba eye prophet Greg emergency awaso yes ye ne odifo kese awieye brem wo twadi amponyankopon e de na wura United Kingdom wo se awieye no ebekọ na awieye a mede me nwosra begu mrantie ne maba waso enuama kese eno mo beye ampa ayare se to mi Awurade de ache no obi benya wa na firi yare obi benya wa na firi yare wo sika won krata wo yere wo ma enso wote ho wontimi nsore agese ye pejaw sabi ubekọ akọdwo nso obekọ toilet mpo a agese wo kogu wo ho bra sister sore ne bebọ mpaye bra ne bedi apaye eye nkrata asem onkrata akodi home office omo join emergency hour no they will tell you eye ayaresa yare bi na da so what da bra pressure dro so ache what da diabetes dro so ache cancer emergency hour ekonomi ha emergency hour any emergency hour mpaibo bra akura woda yefunum a doctors say akura na koma e wo Germany who per doctors kuku dem e wo the whole world at Germany #1 doctors say akura na koma de owo kidney ni ekonomi ha akura no akoma enye adwuma enti akura no entimi mama ame ne wono through emergency hour enra ma mo join the program emergency baby ye celebrating 1 year ewa ha Awurade ama bonyini obi a doctors say on conceive Germany so their testimonies wo ho obi a doctors say owo eye 90% men's bema hormones enti oba no wontimi nyem ontimi nwo ontimi conceive through emergency our Awurade de achem Awurade ama woba no anyem ede na emergency our God nya bi da obi a woni nkrata ekromi ha yamane scholarship enura again testimony mote sika edien ene ede enfama no emergency hour any platform a wo baso bebom paya instant miracles esi bema owo impotent Awurade adom Awurade apejanimu ewo emergency hour eso ya wada no pama mo YouTube no da bia mitumofo se obi wo se mempe YouTube mempe Facebook wo de bra ne bebie Facebook because of emergency awenti bra ne bebie meka eya no obi tia me na so se ma menka empo abonsamofo asofo kura nim se no emergency hour eye won breakable omukura no they are scared of emergency hour until they have started suppressing they have started forming alliance against emergency hour me pa chow me na me soro waka edru ya wada bia brane mompaye wa bre we school wo PhD DDD WAF hwan enso wonya adwuma nye sister brother mentena Ghana hosa wo de wa compile ba akwa bra obi ani ho a wo behu miminimu wo de bra there is no distance in the spirit bra join the program emergency hour ya wada bia 10:30 na wa join ye mompaye na woni Awurade enkwa pam ne hwe se wonya adwuma nye visa na wo pe no won sanka enkrata na wo pe no won sanka awo na wo pe no won sanka ye nua ba bi join 2 weeks ago emoja etu no wa menstruate continuously for 31 days. Testimony ne da ho. Aha nye testimony say, chiro testimony ni enkan yo debi enye sa. Enye testimony say ono obi be kwa akwhwehwe ho na nipa na frɛ. Hello, my be phone lines atum debi o. You will see it clear. Eda ho ukwa the Facebook wa eda ho. Yenye fake testimonies biya wa ha. Eda ho. Instant. Ye program na instant. Emoja etu nneko. Obia wenya ni menopause. Pre-menopause. Through emergency hour ensuo keke. Woba emergency hour so a direction bia ye bia no me patcho fa ho jim. Me edrum pai boso a me ye very very serious. Me nya daje eka emergency hour ho asem. Because ma mo wa ha mo join emergency hour no, they will testify. Me patcho bra ne be so hwe. Wo de bra ne be so emergency hour hwe. Bra ne be bo wabusua ho ban wate. Bra ne be bo wo ma ho ban, be bo wo kunu ho ban, be bo wadwuma ho ban. Me patcho bra aha wo ba me enye wo fren, enye bibia bra ne mompaye. Na wo ba Prophet Greg nenuma sem esesa nipa hyebre. Asema be free nenuma ba esesa nipa hyebre. Wo ye propheta de obeka no. Da osuru ebie. Na emom da bia me mpese wo de be hye wa adwene mu se me ba beje nkom hye da bi ya bre ena krok na koda 1 ena krok free 1 akoda 2 wo benya nkrata anso ebesi na wunyaye wo be ware ebesi na nso nware emergency hour any emergency hour empaibo a prophet kasa osuru ebie osuru authorize. Yes, I believe that. Ena monso amwoso no mugidi ukoso a wo behu enti no da bia me pese de be hye wa adwene mu se me ba beje prophecy uba so na ye bompaye na wosuru bie na awurade ekasa prophecy nkom hye ba obeka enkom hye ba obeka ba anya se de be hye ma adwene mu na aba so fo won hye me nkom hye de obi a hye nkom won nam kura market abo se palm readers any fortunate teenage for omo hye chenioma obi a hye nkom okwa abosonfo wa omo hye nkom ti nkom hye ne de omo hye obi a hye bi enti prophecy no enye nwanwa na emomu no de ema ne ye dene ne se enye wu bewu no akina yeso wu na de jo ho samena me na me hye nkom se we bewu wu nti enye ndan hye nkom se nipa na wo na wo pe no obenya yefru na emu atwo na bebie ampa no wawo emoja na etu no moja ni besizi eno any prophecy authentic obi a wanya impotent na awurade anamboso na ne be ma asori obi a wanya ne menopause na asori eye kurom he ya ena nurse ni Kent emergency hour nurse ni echina na me ya advert na me ya advert ntimo ma me nkasa nurse ni yesi na dwuma mo yare nto onko fie mami akọ back to adwuma so adwuma mu fo se ye mfaw ekọ 3 years 4 years onu ode ne ho me yare ma ba fie me ho atome momfa me back o madwuma mo se momfa me occupational health for actual letter aye bibia wo mo se lalai ye mfaw mami na dademu 3 to 4 years or ye nursing sister. Mami obi introduce emergency hour 4 years otifie yentua neka as a nurse ekuromi ha otifie enu obi say hey won pai bokese ekoso wa bonus campaign enu nti na omo so press no but you are unbreakable, you are untouchable obi biara wo de me ma bonus campaign me platform e kina na meka mo asem akọ wo sori a me ba life for anu afre aden na we de won bostu na we de wonye bi ma me na wontimi nya ho hwe me call Facebook for me to almost say oh someone has touched this just say everywhere is blocked na enra me say this month on e was so soro enra na me hu say awurade o kan bonus campaign me ho enra no pa me siesie me ho ena me nya akọ na sankofo no omo fra 08 omo wo mo number wo mo defre ebi ye Ghana for last 3 weeks me we a program nipa me ne te ye program o sister abna Ghana ni bia frame from Ghana say obe boost na me say ene so Ghana so bia akọ obe boost ama o ye Ghana ni ena me se menye interested obeje oje sen sika no obobo na me se ka me bebo nipa yidi na me se enipa nya momobo ho say sika no me so obeya achemi free dia ba me ma wonye say sika no me de bekwa ye wo Ghana fo mu ye homeless o kurumi ha omu ye homeless e wo kurumi ha omu ye homeless e wo Ghana me de beboa enra me siesie me ho nako enam se sankofo we ho ene mefro na dia me du omu dwuma because se me report wo mo Facebook fo a enkofo bebra wo ma post wo mo videos nyina no it will affect them enu ntino I don't want to do that enam se akwa I will deal with them omu ye different people afedie me fa akọ na enam ekekem what do you want from me you people what do you want say no ma suppress me Facebook no all of it no enye enough enfa mamo because you want to disturb me na maba me se monye me mfa mo ho me se monye na mo boast ma me or say madam take time on cabrofo papa or catch me say I have sit down I have been going through programs I have been going through your programs I don't understand your language but I have been going through monitoring it. I also boast to my lawyers be onu ni kuromu for lawyers so. Na lawyers no. Send the lawyers no. Can me ma bana me ho asem. Lawyers o munye ye kuromu ni o. Can me ho asem no. Ohun say I'm doing good. But woman, careful. Me se nkofo apa Pakistan you say India ni bo bochire me. Nam say really? O se me yama we na se wo yama wo na se we introduce obi asika na wote wo so enti the more na omo no send me test na they are suppressing me omo suppressed they are diverting your viewers oba life a obi nhu ebi wo kra da life kwa nso so obi ba me Facebook a onhu ebi wo a ye program no obo say o se obo say esheki they are suppressing the view enra wone me kasa for length ena me sinti dia maye no they cannot omuntimi reverse no back to na mbusa ne se moye den computer results sika nkofo na ejeje no me metua $1,000 1,000 euros 500 euros 200 euros Why euros dollars enfa mawo na wo nkofa picture number keke metoso mame se mo pese mo hu mo nkofo no se mo ye fake a omo buy obi ho ba 15 within twinkle of eye na jump ko 500 300 240 echina they will speak English to explain things echina Miami program akwantu mu sem de media me signature eti metrasona me ye late kura na no problem memma mon nkofo no mudidi machina hu say mo ye fake I don't have any problem but ya wodie Nigeria ni ekwa aduro so a okwa aduro so akoka kire aduro wura say aduro wura mame nkomanim onkwa aduro so nkoka kire aduro wura say we die na ade na meme die mi tue sika na we die won tue sika enti sa Nigeria ni ene pesto obi mbostu mana Nigeria ni ne beka se boast it for me ba Nigeria ni nka se ade na we die on boastu na we die nipa hwe no na we die sa ade na meye no I make impact me boa enu ntia ene nkofo onya so mfaso me boa enu ntia enti wo die odi be boastu no wonu obi tifie nipa ne ho kire no fama no ewurade be nam so kra pejaw sana me ye wo ma adwene mu ye wo Ghana fo bebre ti kromi ha lawyer kasa lawyer say wo sign ade ama obi a ye very careful abonus campaign mi nim obi a ma sign ade ama na me kasa mi nim no mpo for 6 months mi nim omo and so I sacrifice a sign enra me fa me ba wo park so me call ye coach bi o se sister mpese me no di nkomo me call na nchen me pese wo kunu emma me reference na me say don't worry and I'm so dey kwen me di ko home office and I say don't worry mini no actually mini bra no but any hu kwan say ye man no reference because ye kase ye ntro essay about ono a ye nimu de betro enti abonus campaign de meye sofo ma me ben ena sini kunu be ma ne ho kwan so onye de meye wa wonye afede how o problem ne say obia ye de wo so wo ye enti se mo kona se mo kwa akoye mo ade a munye don't go and mention obidi wo ho se nipa we frɛ no enipa we koye ma no enipa we ye say mempe enti wa akra no wote wana wo ye adwuma no na nipa 1000 enipa 500 300 na guso na wo ya wa wo kra. Don't you feel ashamed of yourself? Don't you feel ashamed of yourself? I can't remember me papa sofubi now ye bi me hu ya na me friend am say papa me boast to be you. And was me kra me free say me boast to ye ni view ne kra na wonya no afi ya wo jai ne kra no omo oba so kra nipa begina so a 20 and so first ne nkoba Facebook be ya asori a 500 600 no wonya sa ne nkofo no motie utira nya no masa be hack your accounts account by you people you don't know munim entimufu say view na ye fan enye fan e wasa wo de hye wa adwene mu sa de na wo ye no nipa nya so aba impact wom na nipa wakofa cemetery nsamanfo na gugusu no mo hwew enti wo kura wo wi a are you happy echina dem betena ha ene me nkofo ye mi say eya na mo mutiri nkwa ne nkofo mu didi machi wate yo enti me pa mo cho me ko echina nyame ya adom a me de ya munya ma menye de me yu echina nyame ya adom a woni abonus campaign entena se akwantuo mu ensem eye china anopa se de na me ka no Tuesdays immigration Thursday empire kese pa na ye bono ha wo ba wo hu abonus campaign say me wigi metu ato baabi we wo ye bone a metu wigi na metu ato baabi wo ba ma bodam ama awurade because e wo so osoro kasa na osoro ebie enu ayeye program na nkofo frɛ ma testimony little gay bi a wo frɛ ya wo so free Ghana ene ba ye through emergency hour na wo ba ye no emoja tuna enu ayenya moja tuo mienu emoja tuna through emergency hour ensuo keke emergency hour ensuo amobi a wanya stroke wa sorry emergency hour ensuo amobi a wo kidney awurade ahile no emergency hour ensuo keke ama yenya ye kroma United Kingdom akura doctors se wo oni kidney through emergency hour water your friend miracle water awurade ama akura no wanya bi this month a month of blessings, a month of blessings. Next week don't miss next week Thursday the last Thursday of a month of blessing. It is your time and it is your turn. Edru wo so say awurade bebie pono kese de ato wanim menim wo haw menim wo amane abra me wie program ya wo kwche dem ukosu sister me nsu biom brother me nsu biom ya wadabra menua be me bia wo frɛ ya wo busa question o sister abna empaibo nko ana me bebo immigration die menim ayesa bra wo bebo empaibo me hu be ma o nani gye empaibo ho ana ye me de bra ne bebo empaye bra ne be secure wabusua wate aha enti ya wada bia ye bom paye ewo aha ade be biara eson wo de ba awurade ye firi wo so na ekọ woni prophet very humble man of God wo friend anopa awie numre anajo obeje wo so aha edru efiada nso so te se na yawe mre dimra frɛ mra kanche mra pusu mra na edru memenda wo di wusu wo dadwene wa manie wa tete What the abedan abonance campaign? Ene ne mpanyimfo anim. Ye be kan wasam nyina de amaw. Ye be ye de wasa wo ye. Edru me menda de a don't mix akwantuo mu nsam o. Akwantuo mu nsam de wo Ghana. Ewiase baabi a wo bia edru me menda. Memenda no pattern. Wo kwa adwuma kora no aka kiro manager mesro mami break. Akwantuo mu nsam aba. Wo Ghana, wo Korea, wo Afghanistan, baabi a wo bi edru me menda. Me pacho join emergency hour. Akwantuo mu nsam akwase wo sere. Join akwantuo mu nsam a time with Abana's campaign. Akwantuo mu nsam. Last week akwantuo mu nsam ye de kasa fa Ghana High Commissioner ho na nyame ya adoma echina de. He enipa ye bad enipa ye wicked. Echina ye bedi nkomo kese e wo china August must obey. Aha. Nyame ya adomo a next week any the upper week no kaya da. Akwantuo mu nsam be ye dege. Akwantuo mu nsam be peja. Osuru ebebie. Enti efri nyame ya adomo next week Thursday. Ekopem ye di be wura August mu no. Don't miss emergency hour. Eye August must obey. Yare na da so no aye kwanko no that sickness will obey. Eradi nshira mo ma mo frame no mawie mo betimi aframe me personal number is 0750242279 me pa cho ma mo pe eye ke mo ye ke ne nurses fo no a frame no afei e na sponsors ni ebiaba me pa mo cho enye free upe free de na wo kon online a wo benya bi ewo abrochire with working permit 5 years 3 years 4 years na wuchie sika kakra wusu eh adeafo wo kromo jo enti me pacho wa we interested no betimi a afreme na ma connectil e de omo ama omo eye necessfo no omo breakie omo assign e resume omo fenipa eye carers opese wo ba as a healthcare assistant ana wo ye nurse ni na wa ntwa na wa ye IELTS no nya 4.5 yes 4.5 when you're 4.5 and above obetimi afreme na enigi sem kese ne sem ma mukra degree or diploma ma mukra degree no you ehu hia so obey English test no why you are fine ba wonye ya ehu ehia why erade nhira munyame ya adom echina menemo ebetena ase medamase.
At Diaspora Insurance, we understand the importance of dignified send-offs within Ghanaian culture and traditions. We also understand that you want to avoid the double trauma of your family grieving and not having the financial support to cover funeral expenses when you're not around. With our Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan, you can now cover yourself or your family in Ghana or abroad. With no medicals required, we'll accept you if you are under 75 years. Visit our website today or call us to complete a simple form in under 5 minutes. With Diaspora Insurance, your peace of mind is guaranteed. At Diaspora Insurance, we understand the importance of dignified send-offs within Ghanaian culture and traditions. We also understand that you want to avoid the double trauma of your family grieving and not having the financial support to cover funeral expenses when you're not around. With our Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan, you can now cover yourself or your family in Ghana or abroad. With no medicals required, we'll accept you if you are under 75 years. Visit our website today or call us to complete a simple form in under 5 minutes. With Diaspora Insurance, your peace of mind is guaranteed. At Diaspora Insurance, we understand the importance of dignified send-offs within Ghanaian culture and traditions. We also understand that you want to avoid the double trauma of your family grieving and not having the financial support to cover funeral expenses when you're not around. With our Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan, you can now cover yourself or your family in Ghana or abroad. With no medicals required, we'll accept you if you are under 75 years. Visit our website today or call us to complete simple form in under 5 minutes. With Diaspora Insurance, your peace of mind is guaranteed. At Diaspora Insurance, we understand the importance of dignified send-offs within Ghanaian culture and traditions. We also understand that you want to avoid a double trauma.
Hallelujah, 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 my brothers and sisters on this great platform of Emergency Hour. Once again, I'm here to testify of what the Lord has done for me in my month of blessing. 2 weeks ago, I came on this wonderful platform to share my scholarship testimony. In my testimony, I stated that due to the fact that I am an asylum seeker and do not qualify for student finance to further my education in the United Kingdom, I've applied for scholarship at 2 universities in the United Kingdom to study accounting and finance. And during our month of good news, one of the universities awarded me a scholarship. After I've received the scholarship, I called Prophet to pray for me. In his prayers, all that he kept saying was, "You shall never lack. You shall never lack. You shall never lack." On the 4th of this month, I received an email from the other university stating that the scholarship committee is very impressed with my scholarship application and therefore would like to interview me the following Monday, the 11th of July. During Emergency Hour on the 7th of July, towards the end of the program, Prophet instructed us to type July, my month of blessing. July, my month of blessing. I typed those words continuously, and whilst typing, Prophet once again spotted my name and said, "Go and come back with a double testimony." I believed and held on unto his words. Last week Monday, I had my scholarship interview. 3 days later, which was Thursday the 14th of July, right after Emergency Hour, exactly 3:05, I received an email from the university stating, "Congratulations. We are pleased to announce that we would like to offer you our 2022-2023 scholarship." In the scholarship letter, I'm classified as an international student because I'm an asylum seeker. Therefore, my tuition fee of 14,900 will be free for the next 3 years. In terms of accommodation, I can choose either to live in a university accommodation hall, or I will be given a yearly amount of £8,000 to rent my own private accommodation, plus a yearly allowance of £4,000. I was so happy to receive this scholarship from this exact university because this university is my firm choice. It's a very popular university in the United Kingdom and around the world. Most of its students attended private schools in the United Kingdom and other countries around the world. And I, an asylum seeker, have been given the opportunity to study accounting and finance at this university. I'm very grateful to God for making the impossible possible, and now I'm presented with 2 scholarships. Currently, I live in a home office accommodation managed by the Salvation Army. Upon hearing my good news about my scholarship, the next day they granted me 1,200 to use to buy all the items that I need for university. On top of it, the Salvation Army invited me to this clothing warehouse where I could choose clothes that I wanted. When I reached the warehouse, I couldn't believe my eyes. I picked so many items from different brands like Marks & Spencer, John Lewis, River Island, Zara, Topshop. I could not even carry all my items home. I had to leave some of my clothes at the warehouse to be delivered at my address. The manager of the warehouse also gave me this beautiful traveling bag for university, and as a gift he has ordered me a kitchen set to take to university. I'm going to university and I don't have to spend my money on all these necessary items for university. The Red Cross also gave me a laptop to use for my studies. I currently volunteer as a part-time account assistant for a charity called HERA, and yesterday they also have granted me a cash offer of 1,200 to take to university. I'm overwhelmed by the change in my circumstance, but I know it is all God's doing through Prophet Greg on this great platform of Emergency Hour. Since joining Emergency Hour, All my testimonies have taken place on a Thursday. I got part of my asylum claim approved at the beginning of this year. My first scholarship came through during emergency hour last month, and now I have my second scholarship. When we come on this great platform of emergency hour, let us believe and obey every word of the great man of God. I obeyed and believed his word when he told us to sow a seed of 53 pounds. And now I am reaping all this favor. So my brothers and sisters, please let us obey the great man of God. And I know the God of Israel that has blessed me in this month will make the month of July your month of blessings. Prophet Greg, you told me I shall never lack. And your word has manifested. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. And God also bless the great woman of God. I don't even know what to say. I'm so happy for what the Lord has done for me. Thank you, Prophet Greg. Thank you, Prophet Greg. Thank you, Prophet Greg. Amen.
Abusia meeting at the Abonance campaign. Midisika Emma Nemebusia any atofo. Ewo my ganemu edefa eye tap sikamanie. Eso ediebentia eye so easy, reliable, affordable, convenience, and it's so fast. Ekwabe and a mobe fasua. Ube yusu tap sikamanie. And one is say Ubefa was smartphone. Now I download a tap sikamanie. Ewa phone so. And one is a woko. And need just some kasiane say. Baby I will be a what me use a tap. Edison Disica. Echo my ganemu.
See what the Lord has done. See what the Lord has done. What we waiting for has come to pass. See what the Lord has done. July, my month of blessing. Pamucho, Mikasa from Ghana. Mede me ba papers etumu wo London. Na was ni papa no wo London. Na yenkwomra before December no. Yenkwomra ejiwe adicha yejiwe say munsem say bebre. Mkache papa kwa si yentwa so na osi da bi yenkoso wan say dia tumu ne de mayem papa yenkoso. Hey, ye kwo ne ye pa for date of conception bra for time out ye discharge from hospital maternity just say munsem say bebre na msi da bi. Before December ne de ya ache na metie sister brand so YouTube no so no lawyers new program but no emergency I was so asem na mside bi maybe Facebook ni bi na ma join ne wo mo me join no mo na ye month of good news na ka be 2 weeks amomo de asi ti me start me ni omo start a month of good news the prophet be kan bia na meye bi the prophet be kan bia na meye the prophet be kan bia na meye me say ready humemobo emergency I wanya me humemobo prophet we Nyankopon humemobo after the month of blessing good news na be na after the month of blessing no to aso after the to aso after Tuesday me wo hono mo a papa na fresh say sisi ade ya ma email ne say the akwa no British passport no abre ne bate wo Ghana nti ne menya hobo ase me kwa akwaje ese me kada emergency a wanyame aye na me hudi amenka hudi amenye prophet Greg Nyankopon na tiase ti de obeka bia me sra mo ngina komapam ne fa ya yedidi entachiri na yenye na de waye npo de me hu adwiri me hudi amenka me hudi amenye na so promise Nyankopon so de promise ne bia so de ko say wobɛyɛ of course ɔyɛ apam krafo nyankopɔn emergency a nyankopɔn no te ase do bɛka bia mo menyɛ meda prophet Greg na ne yera ase emergency a wɔde aba magana for yɛnyɛ wo bibi na mo mensom nyankopɔn no te ase ti hu dia menye when person me ka de hye nyankopɔn animunyam ne prophet Greg nyankopɔn no so ayɛ bia ma me ɔyɛ bia me nipa nti de bɛka bia no mama yɛnyɛ ne ngina kuma pam na de ahwehwɛ no so nyankopɔn bɛyɛ ama yɛn amen.
Abra wuntia she commission free empo abra mete hey meti me use eye tap tap e de send sika e wa abra me mpia bonten na mom kai se wo be use eye promo code e wo screen so na wo dia send sika na ma busua enya £5 extra €5 extra enka wo musika wo de be kone ho no enti use promo code no was screen so tap yes say Paula Mantem was saying Eddie Canfo tap abba amaye Ghana for hey abusia meeting at the abundance campaign medisika emane mebusia eni adofo ewo my Ghana mu e de fa eye tap sikamanie eso edi ebentia eye so easy reliable affordable convenience and is so fast e pambe na wo be fa so a obe use tap sikamanie and one say